Da 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 da.
Celebration music. We made it. We are Twitch partner with DBDLeague now. It took so long and it was quite a long journey and we tried so many times in the past, but eventually it happened. Due to all the love and all the support we are receiving from you. Thank you so much. Mathis is here with me today to celebrate. Hi, Mathis. How are you, partner Mathis?
Hi, Dyer. I'm doing quite well. How are you doing, partner to Dyer?
I'm doing pretty great as well. It was such an unexpected event that happened there. We lost our hope a little bit when we tried in the past, especially after Winter Circuit this year that was going really good, and we tried again and they said, no, we don't see that you are consistently streaming. It's always these short-term events. Yeah, something like this. Now, I think the problem was always that we had these big downtimes after the event that they didn't really like, but we really lost the hope, and then out of nowhere it actually happened. So thank you to everyone who was part of the journey and helping us achieving the Twitch partnership here. Definitely a huge step that should open some doors also with potential sponsors for our events in the future, because sponsors really like when you're a Twitch partner and so on. So we'll see how exciting this will actually get. And the check mark, it looks wrong still. I haven't gotten used to it yet.
Yeah, it's so weird to look at, considering probably the two of us. I'm pretty sure we're the most ancient members of the team, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've been around for the longest, but with what remains at least. But yeah, we definitely need to ask the local government if we can somehow manage to put like an abbreviation of partner into our legal names as a title. That would go hard. Imagine Doctor Partners. You already got you've got almost the Doctor already in your name with Dyer, with the DR. But yeah, so everybody, our first Twitch stream as an official partner. Incredible, very exciting. We're all very much excited on what's going to happen in the near future, if there's going to be significant growth to be spectated from this. But still, we've got more on the agenda. Got another Scrim Night for all of you, so once again, if any of you are not completely familiar with the concept, this is basically our scouting service. So we have teams that voluntarily sign up for these Scrim Nights, and we provide them with a stage on the big stage in DBDLeague with our match officials, our casters, today, me and Dyer, to supervise their matches and allow them to demonstrate their skills to a larger audience, mainly also to us, to check whether or not these teams qualify for any potential tournaments in the future, because this participation in our Scrim Nights definitely is going to look good in your portfolio, because obviously if you've already made your first steps in DBDLeague, it's going to look quite good if you can also provide said information on your application for our future tournaments. And today, as you can already see on the screen, two logos that we haven't seen yet on the DBDLeague stage, representing one team Betrayal and two team Insomnia. So two new names in the area. So Dyer, would you already like to talk about the killers or the teams and your expectations of tonight?
Yeah, we have the highest expectations. These teams need to perform stronger than Eternal and Elysium, that's for sure. Otherwise, we will hand out the ban hammer immediately. No, of course not. You are here to showcase your team. You are a potential participant in the All Hallows League. And of course, to every team out there, if you are thinking about joining the Community Night or the Scrim Night, please do that, because when we've seen you, is definitely better than just reading about your team. You can tell us a lot of things in the form, and you might sound very exciting, but when we know who you are, how you talk, how you prepare, how you organize, it's always better. And when we've seen you playing as well, it's also good because, admittedly, at least I live in a bubble. I don't watch any comp outside of DBDL because DBDL is also taking a lot of time. So, what happens outside of DBDL is not really on our radar. what I hope for is that we have two teams that are giving everything tonight. We've seen that in pretty much every single scrim night. That the teams were really motivated and also understood that it's not about winning tonight in this best of 5. It's about showcasing your team. It's about maybe even experimenting a bit. And so far, it has always been great. And I feel like the Ghost Face, Nurse, Doctor, Billy, Wraith, we have like a wide variety from stealth to very strong killers to M1s. I feel like we have everything we need for a good best of 5.
You know, I find it quite funny that Ghost is the first killer, or the killer that we start out on, because that's arguably one of our most controversial killers. Or in general, also in comp, there's seemingly, whenever I read comments, it always looks like, yeah, either people hate him or love him. Because he's such a, or what people like to say is a war of attrition, so this bleeding out of either side. And it's a killer that you either love or hate. Usually, I mean, I'm usually quite neutral, or I'm usually quite fond of basically any killer, because gameplay is gameplay. It's always exciting to see, and every killer has its own certain aspects and its own niche. So yeah, with Ghost Face as a starter, I don't think we could have had anything better. And then Nurse also basically being one of the longest staples of competitive Dead by Daylight, having been historically the strongest killer. And then Doctor is one of the more niche killers, I'd say, even nowadays, despite the fact that he is in our killer pool and has been picked quite consistently, especially in Scrim Nights. Whenever I design thumbnails for the Scrim Nights, I always notice, oh yeah, wait, Doctor. So he's definitely quite more common in Scrim Nights, has been picked by Betrayal, and Doctor, personally, by far one of my favorites. Rocket will vouch, we're two of the biggest Doctor enthusiasts in all of in the entire European community, outside of Russia, because Russia have sort of perfected Doctor, so that's their cultural staple. But in Europe, it's becoming less. It's always been less common. But yeah, still lovely killer to see. And Hillbilly has climbed the ranks to now being definitely one of the strongest killers, and also love the variety in gameplay we've got. So we've got Ghost Face, rather slow, I'd say. Can snowball quite quickly, but overall a slower game. Nurse once again then being fast again, Doctor being slow, Hillbilly then really fast again, and then Wraith sort of mixing that. So that's actually awesome that we've got this array of killers tonight. Yeah, already spoilering it essentially. Yeah, Wraith is going to be the last killer, and yeah, as goes with Scrim Nights, this is not a typical best of 5. We've got 5 sets ahead of us. But all of them will be played out, even if one of either teams is going to stomp, which we have seen. I think there's only been one exception so far, as to what I'm aware, that actually took it to the 5th set and even had a tiebreaker after. But yeah, even if a team manages to win the first 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds, it doesn't matter, all of them will be played out. So yeah, it's not point-based, it's quite literally just about experience and gameplay being portrayed on the big stage.
And just an update from the background, Savannah just created an own community night channel. You find it at the very top of the server, info, news, and events. There's the announcement, the live uploads, and one below that is the community night. So if you are watching right now and you have a team or a friend group and you say, let's get into comp, let's test comp, let's prepare, showcase our team for the All Hallows League, then get into our Discord server now. Go on the top of the server, the community night channel, fill the form and wait until Savannah is potentially picking you, depending on what you're providing there. Garafa, Luxi, Cybereye, and Samurai. Oh, this will be difficult to distinguish these two because they sound pretty much the same, but they are taking the survivor side from Insomnia here. And Insomnia is a very fitting team name because you really don't want to fall asleep on one of these generators here, because otherwise the Ghost Face is sneaking up. We see the survivor spreading a little bit on the Larrys, and there's the first survivor being found, almost getting the first hit here, but getting away for now. Yuli is going to take the first chase. That's going to be an injury, and the survivors need to be fast now, spreading onto the generators, especially when the first injury came out. We don't really see that yet, so a little bit slow in the beginning here. 50% onto Samurai, and I don't think they realized that Ghost Face is close just yet, so we might see an instant exposure here.
Samurai is in quite a pickle, and with Ghost Face, it's usually quite underestimated how quickly this Rockmeter comes up. You see a very safe play here by our Nancy player, despite Colin not having his ability up. Oh no, he does have it back now with the... Pretty sure there was the pallet break add-on that he's got, so whenever Colin is kicked, he gets his full recharge back, and he's gonna have Nancy quite stuck in the corner here with the ability up, and that is going to be a very eager lunge around the corner, and it is going to connect. Samurai will be the first survivor to be down and hit on the hook. That's also going to be the first payment of the trial. Sloppy Butcher has already come into effect as well, as we are seeing it now with the heal on Cyber-Ray. And yeah, the gen pressure continues as it's got Garafa slowly starting to get closer, trying to get an early unhook, because that hook, comparatively speaking, was extremely early for a Ghost Face. Usually you go with a... or with more of a careful setup where you try to get as many survivors close to exposed as possible. But if someone offers themselves to you, obviously you're just going to commit to that. And that is exactly what happened. Colin immediately committed to this and is now just trying to find a vantage point that he's going to be able to take advantage of to stalk any survivor that tries to grow near the hook. Because that might as well be, or if he plays his cards correctly, that could be an instant down before the unhook comes through, and that would be 2 survivors incapacitated at 5 generators remaining. I'm not talking about the status effect here, just take it literally. At 5 generators remaining, which would be huge, obviously, for Ghost Face, as then up at that point only 2 generators could potentially pop, which we are going to see here as well as the second stage comes through on Samurai.
Very difficult start for our survivor team, that's for sure. Second stage, 5 gens, you talked about it. The survivors not really having the access to the gens, now also running into each other, but Colin does not decide to go further into the chase there, of course, because on the other side of the Larrys you have an elimination coming in very soon. You do spot the survivor that is coming in, deciding to stalk a little bit, but it's clear who will be our next chase, and that will be our Nancy here. You want the elimination as fast as possible. Off pallet is saving you a little bit, giving you some distance and wasting more time from Colin here, but Samurai will need some serious help from the teams. We will need a body being thrown in. Garafa is here and should take a hit for the team member. We have a good pallet here against them, 1 killer as well, and a nice stun coming out by the Nancy. This is what we like to see when you are in the position of being tunneled out of the game. Colin making a return, going back towards Nancy and Ace. They might double back here behind this wall, and they do anticipate that Colin was coming through the room here, so Ace still able to take another hit. That means that Samurai is taking quite some significant... Can distance again, was actually in the locker though. Decides to go for a little bit of juicing and now has even more distance. Beautiful right there. Great team play that we see here from the team. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another survivor coming around. We already hear the steps nearby, so it should happen that we have another survivor around. There's Yui coming in now. This is very beautiful, Mathis. Out of nowhere, from a potential elimination on 5 generators, we are talking about 2 gens standing, and the elimination is not that guaranteed yet.
Yeah, when you said beautiful, that's a very accurate depiction of this. This is quite a tough match for either side here. It's also an amount of teamwork I did not expect coming to Scrim Nights usually, because this is obviously the time when we give less experienced teams a stage. But so far I could hardly even say that either of these sides did any significant mistakes. I think Colin played it really well by getting it down very early, 2 securing second stage on that person, and 3 now even getting an elimination at 2 gens left. And meanwhile we had 3 generators pop extremely quickly, and that amount of teamwork also head on into the firecracker. Just amazing gameplay by our survivor side so far. Colin now with 1 generator remaining, still has 3 survivors that are fresh, all of them. So he's only got 3 stages on Samurai collected as of now, has not had the opportunity to get any of these other downs. And also I got a great, there's a great idea in chat. It's one thing to note as well that we didn't mention at the start is this is also there's also no delay on these streams, so we do see the chat actively, and someone asked if the winner gets 10 pounds of cheese. You know, Dyer, that's actually a great idea. You know, instead of money prizes, we should just offer whole cheese wheels to our winners.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a wheel of cheese. If you win 4 tourneys in a row, you can build a cheese car.
And then you can race to Switzerland and get even more cheese.
And then upgrade and tune your cheese car.
Just don't go to France.
Just go to France. Yeah, they only scored once this entire Euros. Don't go to France.
But Yui now taking an injury here, was the hero earlier, saving the team members. So Saburai might now be a little bit of a target here for our killer. That's going to be Garafa taking the injury onto the Ace. So we have 2 injured survivors, and now starts this typical great Ghost Face gameplay where we have 3 survivors left. There's a lot of risk on the table. You have 3v1, so less generator efficiency, and they all need to be careful that the Ghost Face is not popping up from around the corner, not getting an instant down, or even dragging you away from the gens here. So the survivor team needs a different playstyle now. They need to be more careful, more communicative than ever before. We are going to see Ace going for the pallet here, trying to go back and forth, and so far he will stay successful with that. Also because Colin remembers that there's 1 generator on the other side of the Larry's Memorial Institute that needs to be defended. 50% over there, so the pressure now definitely on the killer here. You need to carefully calculate how much time do I have to scout for a survivor, how much time do I have to go into a chase, so the other 2 survivors are potentially not doubling up and smashing through the objective here. A down would be really needed now for the killer though, because the survivor team starts with the reset, I would say, and exactly that is what we see here. So we have only 1 injured survivor remaining now. Cheryl will hop back on a generator on the other side. Yeah, I just jinxed it. The typical casting curse. But Ace doing a really good job here. And if Cheryl is already back on that generator, then we will definitely have a lot of progress on that generator number 5. And the run is not even over. Ace going for the next pallet, is able to chain these 2 pallets together, is in a difficult 50-50 though, but manages that with a triple vault as well. Good to see what Garafa is doing here. I wonder, the generator is unfortunately only 60% here, because we have seen the regression kick coming in, and we'll see that with this hook here straight again. The pain rest will do a little bit of damage to the survivor team. Mathis, you are a Ghost Face expert. You have a lot of friends like iPick being absolute experts on the Ghost Face. What does the survivor team need to do now in order to make a confident escape?
They do have a very promising setup. It's difficult to work against, I think I'd say any stealth killer when you've got 2 out of 3 survivors injured we've got right now. They have, as I said though, they've got a decent gen setup, so they need to focus on the generators that are furthest from one another, obviously. So that would be the one that Colin is currently looking at in the far corner, and the one that's already been affected by eruption. I was also going to criticize the use of eruption earlier because he hadn't got any value out of it, but he did get the down onto Garafa, who's had a run that was longer than it ever should have been. So hats off to an Ace player. And yeah, Lux is doing exactly what needs to be done. Also, Garafa going immediately for the unhook, now has to take advantage of the fact that Colin will be forced to go to the generator that Cheryl was found here, but is the only survivor that's healthy and will not be put into the injured state. Sloppy Butcher, obviously going to be extremely annoying for our survivor side, not going to allow them to get the heals as quickly as they would like to do. Did just here and injured Cyberray on the side. Colin is trying to stay focused on this chase here. Full tunnel vision activated. Not in the common sense that tunneling would be used. Beautifully played here by Lux. Oh, we have the slow vault back there. The very quite Cheryl sound effect there. Does manage to get the injury. Garafa will be healed. And yeah, question. I think they would most likely have to be healed here. Or just, yeah, they definitely have to get on these far gens and then make sure they're always aware of where the Ghost Face is located. That's sort of a more conservative tactic against Ghost Face. It's something that's been used, I think, last year, but it's still being used to some extent, where essentially no one ever does any gens until the whole team knows where the killer is. So you need to focus on the aspect of the callouts about the killer's position. So that's one thing that the team needs to be able to regulate, is that there's no unnecessary callouts on where you're working on generator strengthening and how far the progress is, etc. You need to limit it down to the killer's location so that every single player on your team knows exactly where the killer is or has a rough idea of where he is at all times to provide maximum security, or as much as you can provide on an indoor map against the stealth killer. So with Locks being down 2 survivors healthy, that allows one to heal and another to save quite easily, I was going to say, but Garuffa's scratch marks were found by Colin. That's going to be another injury on the person that was meant to get the rescue here. Colin going to anticipate that Cyber is committed to this generator, does see the scratch marks here, is decent enough progress, but Elsliver pre-left the generator, mostly because of Garuffa's early call-out that the killer has in fact left. And yeah, with Garuffa injured and Cyber about to be as well, we've got 3 survivors injured again, and I think we're in sort of a stalemate here, or slowly entering one where Colin does certainly have the upper hand as the stealth killer with the sloppy butcher will just be able to bleed the survivors out slowly, or their resources and patience rather, or Cyber will actually be caught off guard here. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You can't start a generator when you're injured when you don't know where the Ghost Face is. You might as well just branch out and just find out of the blue. There's no good indicator that will allow you to stay safe in any type of scenario. And that backdoor on Cyber, that is going to be the 7th save of the game. And now Colin has all the time in the world he needs to try to find the reset, which he just did, and a sloppy butcher is going to annihilate that progress that he got from Garuffa. But even if they had committed to the heal, even if it had been 90% of the time, Colin could have just gone for the full start here and eliminated the entire team.
Yeah, this was really rough. I agree with you. When you are playing a Ghost Face set, you want to reset, and you want to reset all together. 2 people going into a reset while one person is trying to play, yeah, a little bit the solo responsibility or the solo hero doesn't really work, and we see the consequences of Cyberrise down now. We have one survivor 60% away. 60 seconds away from the elimination. Another survivor now 60%. Why am I saying percent? 60 seconds away from the elimination, and the reset hasn't really went into putting up generator pressure again. You are now running after the unhooks, and therefore you are entirely busy with something else. And there's actually our injured Yui that is also dead on hook with this upcoming down. So a very rough position to be in, and you basically need to win this stand of mind again 500 times in a row. Maybe one time is enough if you hold W afterwards, but so far it's a good showing. And a second time, Colin needs to make sure that he's not going to lose too much time here, eventually even breaking this corner pallet, meaning that Samurai can take some distance and move away. Great showcase there by Yui, definitely won his team a lot, and now even preventing the elimination from happening because Cheryl is working on the generator over here. Good work so far, but if the Ghost Face is aware, then he should make that in time. Yeah, we have her right there, stalking her all the way to 99. The next time we're going to come over, we will have the instant exposure. Anti-gen kick mechanic is also leveling up more and more, so the Ghost Face doesn't have access to this additional regression any longer. But Ace going down, unfortunately, pretty close to the generator, so Colin just needs to check that it's still regressing, and now gets another hook stage pretty much for free and without pressure here.
Yeah, we're getting closer to... Yeah, now it's only 2 survivors left. We're getting closer to also the point where the killer can't even keep gens any longer. But now it seems like that eruption came in so handy in that late game. Didn't get any value at the start as it was fully committed to eliminating Samurai from the game. And yeah, there's no possible way that Lux managed to finish this generator in time. There's no survivor. I don't think our player left early. So I'm pretty sure he's hiding outside, right? No, he just immediately went to the other generator. Both also with 80%. Cyber is gonna take the down here. I don't think that was an option, was it? If it was not, this might be the final gen pop, but Lux has been stalked to the brim, so if Ghostface plays his cards right, he might barely be able. Though the ability is back yet. Yeah, it's not going to be enough time. Lux definitely pops it, and it's going to be the 5th generator done. It's going to be a slightly easier win condition for their killer in the upcoming trial, but it's still definitely going to be all 4 survivors eliminated from the trial at least. So it is going to be a 4K. And as we see now, the down coming in now. It's going to be the 4K at 0 generators remaining. Usually with Ghostface, you can there's great potential that you can still 4K with generators remaining. So it is all on the upcoming killer player of Team Insomnia. Yeah, Insomnia on Survivor right now, Betrayal on Killer. So yeah, it is on Insomnia's killer player to decide the game in their favor by getting a 4K before the ultimate generator pops. Colin barely being able to squeeze out the 4K. That could have even been an out, I believe, if the ace had lasted a bit longer there. And also with the generator kicks, you know that it's really only certain killers where you see that generators can't be kicked anymore because they've already been regressed 8 separate occasions. And we got quite close here with 2 generators, I believe, already being past 80, but having been kicked about 6 or 7 times, if I recall correctly. Did you count?
I didn't, and I don't like that this animation that you see onto the generator about anti-kick mechanics starting to build up, that it already starts in 4 and then never really gives you an indication if it's 5 now or 6 or 7. Like, I don't know, there could be a better indicator somehow, I feel like, especially for the spectator, that you are aware, is it 5, 6, 7 times, because you kind of need to remember for all the generators.
Starts at 4,
I mean, at the very beginning I found it confusing that it even starts at 4. Yeah. Maybe for spectator they could even remove it entirely and only show it on 8 when it's full. Something like this would definitely make it a little bit easier here. But 4K on all gens completed is definitely something the Survivor team can live with. We have a lot of results on the Larrys with the Ghost Face that is a 4K 1 or a 4K 0. So putting the pressure on the other Survivor team that they actually need to get an out and not getting slugged in the endgame, which is pretty possible in the endgame hectic and chaos that a Ghostface can create, is already a good result. So I feel like our survivors from Insomnia here can be quite fine with that result, and Betrayal on the survivor side in the upcoming trial will need an out. I hear from the background that we need a short break because we need to adjust something. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
No,
but
I have my 5 minutes of crying scheduled for 6:20 your time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we will hop on a quick break. You guys think about some questions you have that we can answer in the upcoming trial. And we will see you soon.
Hello everybody, we are back with number 2, set number 1 with the Ghostface set. We've got Garafa on the Ghostface, if you recall correctly from our previous match. This was the ace player that had some significant chases that impacted the game drastically and allowed 4 survivors to barely squeeze out that last generator and get a 4K, and managed to get the last generator pop, so it was only in parentheses, only a 4K on 0 generators remaining, unlike what it could have been a 4K on 1 generator remaining, with Ghostface having tons of potential to get 4Ks earlier before the last generator popped. And there's this one message in chat that I really want to read out in a Master Chief voice by Hitchy. Can't wait for some sexy gameplay. Oh no, that was rather Duke Nukem. Well, can't do either. I'm not a voice actor for good reasons. Anyway, we've got Winter Edit and Sonic in Chase Me, also very clean names here. Winter Edit, a player that's been around for a long time that I've seen in previous larger tournaments as well, so I'm hoping that to see some decent guidance by this team's ace player in our upcoming trials, as this player has already made some decent experience. Dyer's not going to be here for the intro, just saying. He's going to return very soon. He's having a phone call with some stock shareholders of DBDLeague. Now that we've partnered, you know, we're going places. Graf has not been successful yet in getting these ability exposures. Exposés. But yeah, we've only got one further injured. Sonic, being the one in chase currently, has already used the extremely safe pallet edge map. But as we can see, revealed by any means necessary, there's plenty more where that came from. Graf also taking advantage of a Hex perk, unlike our previous killer Colin, who's this time around playing Renato on the survivor side. So yeah, we've got basically the same build now, but a rune takes Corruption's place this time. So yeah, we've got no corrupt intervention, a very risky decision, as that does allow survivors to immediately get working on generators. However, this is a build on approach to builds that we've seen quite frequently in recent events, on recent tournaments, recent Ghost Face sets, where that Ghost Face players just say, yeah, whatever, I don't need a corrupt intervention at the start. But corrupt intervention has two effects of the game. One, obviously, the primary effect being the one that 3 generators are obviously blocked, as everybody knows. But that will also force survivors to slowly run into your direction. So it pushes survivors into you right from the get-go. And for a Ghost Face player, that might earn you an extra quick expose or extra early injury at the start of the trial. We see Ghost Face is not gonna try to get the injury onto Winter Edit. Had the survivor 99, might barely make it. No, does not get the hit just yet, which is a decently safe pallet, but now reaches one where you will have to end up gambling, and sadly picked the wrong side of the room. Yes, completely blocked off, and that is going to be a quick down onto Winter Edit. Our first survivor that bites the Doctor here. First stage of the trial does have Painers available, but there's also, so far there's only one generator that's gone past the 80% mark. If we do see the Pain Resonance, and pretty sure we do, based on how long that the carrying of the ice took there, or Winter Edit, should have been a Pain Res, as we also just saw Ninjas to run away from said generator he was working on. Yeah, they will not be able to pop that first generator. Also, unlike our killer player from the previous trial, he will not, or he might immediately go back to camping here. Maybe was just testing the waters of the rest of the map, trying to scare off survivors, waiting for Winter Edit to call out. He's leaving, he's not camping. So our survivors stay a bit more confident on those generators. We see a very early undercover, so testing the waters there immediately punished Garafa. Unlike in our previous trial where we saw a secured second stage, this time it's not gonna be successful, but a very cocky lunge through the pallet is gonna apply the down onto Garafa. We do hear some footprints in the background, but there's no rescue available anywhere near. Colin might be able to pop that generator before the Pain Resonance. No, obviously no Pain Resonance, this time has already been hooked. But it's gonna be a basement hook, and there's one thing that Ghost Face and Basement have in common, it's their absolute affinity for one another. Because now, if he really wants to, he can just activate his ability and crouch at the corner, or at the bottom of the first flight of stairs, and just lean around the corner, because our survivors would not be able to reveal the killer, and he would just be able to get free stalk every time. Very important here by Colin to break the ability very early on. Sonic gonna gun it right down into the basement. He's gonna take the trade for it most likely. And now Garafa might not even go for the hook here, because our survivor Sonic is so far off the grid here that our survivors will have to take an extra loop around the map to make it down to basement, waste a bit of extra time. Really safe pallets here, pallet set up with the window here. Oh, Garafa with a very early vault here. That might have just caught Winter Edit off guard, and it did! Successful early down, and we see much better momentum from our Ghost Face player, Garafa, than from Colin in the previous trial. Got 4 generators left, and a death already, with Sonic also being down in the basement, and no generator progress, or none that is currently being exerted by our survivor squad. And we see all 3 quite close to one another. Winter Edit now out of the game already. And it's really looking spicy for Garafa. Still has that rune available as well. And Sonic, unfortunately, immediately runs right into Garafa. And I hear a familiar sound in the background there. Hello, Dyer, welcome back.
Yes!
Just going back into action. So, quick recap for you. We've already done an elimination at 4 generators with hardly no gen pressure besides that. Winter Edit also being unhooked twice, and Gruffer being able to get extremely quick downs on our trusty ace player.
Okay, that doesn't sound too positive. This is what I took from this summary. I apologize, everyone, that I had to leave for a couple of minutes, but a colleague wanted to talk real quick about something urgent, and I couldn't push that on later today. So we have Sonic injured, Ninja being healthy, and Colin being healthy, though Colin is on 99. So as soon as we have that power, the one hit will become a danger for that survivor. Garaffa potentially getting this pallet out of the way first, and then going for the survivor afterwards. 99, when will we pop it? Getting a little... Oh, I would have said we can even close the distance gap a little bit more before popping that 99, but it seems like Garaffa is very confident that he will get the down here. We are destroying another pallet, giving a little bit of distance. I mean, the setup for the survivor doesn't look too bad. This pallet is something you can certainly work with, but you are now leaving the safer pallet and going towards the one over here, which becomes difficult once it's dropped. It seems like our survivor knows that, gets a beautiful stun. I feel like that was a little bit of a misplay by our Ghost Face here, going for the full exposure with such a distance and allowing the survivor to reach that next resource. Therefore, it will be a little bit of a setback for the killer, but a little bit of a chance now for the survivor team, gaining a little bit of wiggle room onto the generators and onto their pressure near here. Just with the normal M1, it would come to an end for her. Sonic, though, doing a good job going back towards that main room, and at the side of the main room we have this very wonderful Larry's pallet, and eventually it's coming to an end. Sonic being put onto the floor. We have one additional generator that is completed very soon, and unfortunately this flashlight attempt will not be successful. Mathis, I'm an amateur when it comes to judging Ghost Face performances, but it looks really tough for the survivor team when we remember that they need an out.
Well, Rats would have done better. No. Yeah, quite the impressive performance, especially those extremely quick downs onto Winter Edit. We can clearly tell that Garaffa really wants the cheese wheel out of this competition. Yeah, Sonic wasn't fast enough and is also the second in the line to be close to elimination. As it goes with most indoor killers, once it's a 3v1, it's basically over. Even if it's an M1 killer, because usually even with M1 killers, if you've got a 3v1 or even a 2v1, if you've got your survivors split where they each work on a generator cross-map from one another, there's still quite a decent chance of you outing it. So yeah, good examples would probably be if a Trapper or a Leatherface don't have a 3-gen, then you can still, if there's 2 survivors left, you can still win. Because the chases aren't going to be instant, because usually there's a lot you can do against both of those. And 2, if you cross-map, they don't have any kind of mobility. So, obviously that's going to take a long time for a killer to reach either survivor players that are still left. And now we've got ninjas on the ground. That's only 2 survivors standing, and both are injured as well. Especially with stealth killers, it's not only Spirit that profits from sound, it's also against any kind of killer, but especially on indoor maps. If you hear one sound, you know exactly where the survivor is, and they don't know where you're coming from, because you're stealthed. So, yeah, they are going for the reset now through the Swampy Butcher. We've got Sonic down, and that's going to be a 2v1 at 3 gens remaining, and Dire, being realistic, this is not only 2 survivors left at 3, this is also going to be all dead at 3. With now Ninjas starting a fresh generator, there is no way they can get another gen done here. Extremely unfortunate, but yeah, Garaffa has done exceptionally well, not only as Ace in the Survivor Trial, but also as Ghost Face, and lagging out. Oh no, we're back.
I was about to say, that would have been very unfortunate, because then all gens count as completed, and 2 gens, 2 survivors are walking out of the door. The only thing I'm confused about, what have they been doing while Sonic was chasing for such a long time? They haven't
maybe
even gotten
like
the full reset. Yeah, maybe in a corner.
Yeah.
but
That's what I do.
definitely indicating a huge inefficiency here from the Survivor team, and this is also the answer why we are talking for
Hello.
4K on 3 gens remaining, because Sonic was doing a pretty good chase there, and pretty decent looping for quite some time, and the only thing we got out of it was one of the injured survivors being healed, not even both of them. And this inefficiency that we have there is potentially the reason why we are talking about a 4K on 3 gens. Colin will be easier to find because he's injured, and he will leave some blood pools and make some noises, so definitely not the best position to be in here. Would be nice though if Colin can somehow escape through the hatch for the style points at least. Of course, it would be Insomnia taking... Okay, never mind. That was the next caster curse right here summoned onto Colin, and that will be a very nice 4K on 3 gens remaining, more than likely. In the meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions for Season 9, the playoffs, upcoming tournaments?
Season 10.
Scrim Nights Season X. We will be cool. We will not call it Season 10, we will call it Season X.
X9, unbanned, no.
I mean, we can also host it on Easter, then we can call it Season Eggs. But...
Or like, but then Exice is gonna win. He's got on home turf. He's got the home advantage, like Germany should have had in the Euros this year.
Questions about DBDL, about our events, anything that you always wanted to know. You keep dodging my
that's
question.
an exciting
How are
question.
you? Mathis, how are you today?
Give me like a couple minutes to think about it. That's a tough one.
Okay, I think I'm...
Humor, you're talking about cheese wheels.
Where's the cheese wheels coming from?
They're awesome! What do you mean?
Yeah, but in this context of a scrim night.
Okay, so earlier someone joined the chat and asked had all their kids there. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, someone earlier asked about the prize pool, and someone immediately responded, yeah, it's just cheese. And then my immediate association with cheese is cheese wheels, because that used to be a big meme with friends and I when I still went to school. I mean, cheese wheels are just awesome. And now it's funny. Caster's favorite cheese? Probably raclette, actually. Not as in like the big event that... Not like the big dish that you do for like New Year's or whatever, or what some families do, but like the actual raclette cheese. And Di, what's your favorite type of cheese?
My favorite type of cheese, Appenzeller.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a good one.
Mathis might have a
I mean, hard to describe it. Brim, thank you so much for the subscription and supporting DBDLeague and our events.
Thank you. You get a dino dance for that in chat.
Any subscriptions, any cheers, any donations with exclamation mark donations are being put into the production or into the either into production or the prize pool, mainly into the prize pool for upcoming events. The exclamation mark
cheese wheels.
The exclamation mark donation has the advantage that you are also getting a Discord role, and you will be mentioned on stream in a special screen during the next event. As you can see in Season 9 on the weekends, every donation of $10 upwards is giving you these benefits. So exclamation mark donation is getting you into the list of being famous and fancy. Is it better to donate directly? I mean, it depends, I would say. If we are talking about gifted subscriptions, I think this is a great support because it also binds more members that are maybe not too linked to a channel onto DBDL. So this is a nice form of support that you can grant. But if you're looking into a support where it's the money is directly and 100% landing at DBDL, then it's probably the donation, because on a subscription it's always a part. Same for the cheering that is going to Twitch, as they are hosting this amazing thing here. But yeah, exclamation mark donation is where I would say not split with anyone. Any tips for good gen pressure as Singularity?
Frames.
I mean, you can watch Zaka whenever Zaka is playing Singularity in Season 9. Zaka is basically switching through the cameras non-stop. I don't see Zaka chasing for more than 20-25 seconds without then afterwards reassuring himself what generator are they working on, where's a survivor that is potentially in a dead zone. So use your power, spread it across the map, and then use it to constantly be aware. Yeah, just be Zaka. But basically use it to be...
Yeah, but it's Nightlight for... Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Nightlight plays Singularity for...
Or Nightlight. One of the eternal endies.
I mean, we can make it easier. Just go to the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and then just scroll through the thumbnails and look wherever you see Singularity in the thumbnail, and just click on it and watch it.
Snuggles,
Easy.
welcome back from the ad help. Thank you for supporting DBDL.
Ad revenue. If Frames is in chat, hello Frames. Matthias. Still not my real name, but go ahead. Matthias.
Wait, my Twitch just told me that I got the founders badge for the DBDL channel. I did.
The founder? Oh, hell yeah.
But why am I the first? But why do I get it now?
Oh, Matthias.
Before?
The founder. Enlo Matthias. Stop. Oh yeah, I think it's one of the very rare occasions where you comment as your account.
What?
Founder. Yeah, usually you don't comment with your own account. If I'm not active for it, but it's because I'm searching for a cheese wheel and I'm cheese wheel song. Okay. If you get that by the end of the stream, I'll cue it up on stream. The what song? You read him. You heard him. Come on, Cindy.
Nurse next. Mathis, how much do you like Nurse on Cold Tower?
From a scale of 1 to uranium, I'm gonna have to give it 3 cheese wheels.
You and your cheese wheels.
Yeah, you're just jealous. You wish you had as much cheese as I do. Actually, I've got no cheese at all in my fridge right now.
That's a crime.
It is. No, I've got cream cheese. Does that count? Probably.
No.
Okay, then no. But I like it as a spread. You know, I'm not a butter guy, so I just use cream cheese on my bread. Nurse gameplay and puke emoji. Yeah, exactly. Love it or hate it. But you know, I mean, I come from Team Oibo. We specialize in this killer, so I've got to like it, you know. And
alright, let's go.
More you can do against this killer than many people might think. That's a lot of hexperks. That's a lot of cheese.
We are back in action with the Nurse on the Cold Tower, and Undying is already doing a good work here for our killer, revealing Sparky, and that's going to be a very unfortunate first hit. That's not how you want to kick off the Nurse set. If you can get, I don't know, at least 30 seconds at the beginning so your team can spread across the generators, that is really what you're looking forward to. But Sparky is almost instantly going down here. Cyber is going to pick the midsection hook, trying to get the 3-gen here. On the bottom side, maybe a 4-gen in a square form, you could tell it. There's a hex totem inside of it as well. Definitely not the worst location to be in, Method.
Yeah, this is pretty scary. You have a hook in the middle, and you can tell with the generator regressing due to ruin, that was one of the generators that our survivors have dedicated themselves in the early stages of the trial. So even for one stage, there is not going to be a single generator that flies, and usually best case scenario against nurses, you get 1 gen before the first hook. comes through. And there we see Sonic getting closer and closer to that totem, but there's absolutely no way our Cyber would ever be in a position of cleansing that totem unless another survivor goes for the Anuk at the exact same time. But we've already seen Sonic completely abandon that area. Also, our Nurse using the Pirate Hook as her weapon, one of the weapons that probably give you the greatest advantage when you play as the killer, because obviously whenever you get a hit with your ability and you look down a bit, and your weapon always blocks your field of view, and this weapon does it the least amount because it's basically just a stick or a clean line. Sparky goes down extremely quickly, but fortunately does have the DS and is not affected by the bug, so that is not going to be a 2-second time, instead the full time. But even with the live, it is not going to be enough to escape our Nurse player. Colin immediately going to head on over to self-carrying instead of continuing on this generator. The first one finally pops. We also see the sheer strength of the undetectable add-on, because it's, you know, at first many people were extremely doubtful of this add-on because, well, it's not going to help in chase, it's just going to make you undetectable. Right? Wrong. It's actually incredibly powerful, because you never know where the Nurse comes from in chase if you traverse through a lot of different tiles, and especially on Call Tower, where on the right side of main building you've got 2 in line. So yeah, you can lose track of the killer quite quickly there, and the Nurse might just take advantage of that. First, Hex finally pops here. And do you think Sparky's coming off that hook?
I don't think so, and it would be very unfortunate to say goodbye to Sparky this early. I think we can all agree that he did not really enjoy the Nurse trial that was up here. I mean, we have a rescuer now, but Cyber is going to keep looking out for the rescuer. Does get a little bit distracted though. Therefore, Sparky will be free for a moment. Deep wound coming out, but the borrowed BT base kit is coming in clutch here, giving us some distance and allowing us to go all the way down towards the bottom side. Ace still running, trying to get towards the shack, breaking line of sight, but Cyber is too close, so the only chance you have is turning into edge map Anderson, and unfortunately that's not going to be too successful as well. So Sparky is saying goodbye to us. It was a good run. Unfortunate, Sparky will not be free and will be eliminated. 2 generators completed, so a lot of more work to do for the survivors, but they broke the setup here on the bottom side. Now you need to take care of the typical Coal Tower 3-gen that we have on the main side. Main building, left side and right side of the main building is a very typical 3-gen setup on the Coal Tower, so the survivors really want to take care of that one. Now there's another 3-gen on the bottom side, so we really have more work to do, but I think 2 gens fully completed and Delhi being up is something you can work with a little bit.
Yeah, it is Call Tower, so there's always some sort of setup that you can work with as the killer, especially if you're the Nurse, with that much potential when it comes to mobility around the map. And we see a lot of predictions here also from our Nurse player. It helped a lot against Sparky, who basically just tried to get as much distance as possible. Kind of reminded me of the old Russian playstyle against Nurse, where basically all they do is literally just run edge map and never look behind, which is something that Trauma did quite consistently as well. But yeah, it didn't help for Sparky at all, because our Nurse player is of the predicting kind. Colin is going to use that overcome to its maximum potential, tries to get as much distance as possible, double backs a bit into the Nurse, could have, or at least the second blink there, if Eager enough and could have gotten it down to really, that's it and off. But yeah, with a really good position to go, I think he's got the 3-gen here, doesn't he? But he does still have the buildings and did manage to psych the Nurse for quite a run, and it did allow the survivors to be on a safer spot than what could have come if Colin had died right next to the generators. Yeah, the 3-gen is set up on around Water Tower, so that's a fantastic spot to die in. Winter should take quick care of this generator, the generator right in the middle of the 3-gen, where while we have Colin set up at the top here on the generator previously working on. Colin comes in with the deliverance now, and Winter End barely does not manage to get that generator pop in time. Cyber is just going to immediately kick his eruption and commit to the chase onto Winter End, and a quick down is going to give you that extra eruption pop on the generator, exerting so much more pressure. Oh, slow down. And yeah, Winter dies in the dead corner as well, similar to Colin, a very promising spot to go down in. And now it's up to two remaining sides to get at least one generator from this place, and it does look like it.
And the good thing is we see the third generator coming out in a second, and the fourth one shouldn't be...
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. Fourth one should be right with that as well. And now again, 4K1 is a good win condition when we are talking about the Nurse, and you might even be able to go for that fifth generator because the Survivor team is playing good so far. They are punishing every single chance that Cyber is giving them whenever they earn a little bit of wiggle room. When Cyber is taking a little bit too long, it's instantly being put into the generators. So it's really good to see that, and it's really strong how the Survivor team is performing under so much pressure. So the third generator is an option here, and they might be able to pull something beyond that fourth generator when it always or usually ends on a Nurse set. Cyber checking here on the top side. We just had the unhook here. He saw that the survivors healed as well, so he's expecting that they are still around. Unfortunately, he's looking in the wrong area for that. Now it seems like he located one survivor, that is Winter, added an experienced competitive survivor who has played on multiple teams before. That's going to be a quick injury though, and now you need to run all the way towards the top left corner in best case. Then you're getting a little bit of space here on the bottom side, but oh, nice DH coming out there. Very scared that the Nurse would have coup and go for an absolute long lunge right there, but Winter now hiding behind this rock, and it's coming to an end. We don't see a heal onto Colin just yet. Never mind, he's busy with the medkit. I feel like that should have been faster with the mate, but it makes sense if he used the medkit. So let's make a summary. Colin used the Deliverance. He is one stage away from elimination, so he needs to be very hidden in order to not take a 2v1 scenario too soon. Sonic should get, in ideal case, into the next chase because he is also healthy. Oh, I was worried that he's lagging out there for a second, but this gen has progress, Mathis. They are alive. This generator has progress.
Yeah, but neither Winter nor Colin are allowed to go down here, otherwise this would end in a 4K or would end in 2 men standing, and it's gonna be really difficult. Sonic has to be the one that takes aggro here. Winter with a very important double back does not allow our Nurse to get that extremely quick down. Only goes still. Oh, I think that's the first call up we saw by our Nurse player, not going for the prediction for once. We do see them doubling up on a generator. This might just be enough actually. It's gonna take 3 blinks at least to make it over to this generator, and the hook hasn't even come through yet. How fast is it gonna be? I'm still waiting for the red icon to pop up. Still not happening. Okay, well they get the gen now. Yeah, that's actually insane. Now it has to be Colin that takes aggro and Sonic that needs to escape, because 9 stages would be amazing on or against the Nurse. Also the gas mask showing up. Oh, it's gonna be he's gonna go for hatch play here, but he's been spotted. He doesn't even know yet. Has very shotgun it. Yeah. Oh, the sun does come through. It's gonna put a lot of distance between Sonic and the killer. So yeah, they have to, yes, I hope Colin was on the gate this entire time, because if Sonic guns it now, then Sonic guns it back to hatch actually. I don't think that, yeah, that's not gonna be enough time. You know, I was really hoping to be able to make that go, you're too slow! But yeah, Sonic will not be able to make it to the gate anywhere near. But an out is an out against Nurse. You have to achieve that in the first place. That was almost a 9 stage.
They did so good here. They did so incredibly well.
He's going in! Go! Yeah! My man! Now DC and Niago's hatch. No. He's back. Yeah, no, that's not happening, bro. You're too slow. No, he's just gonna blink once instead. Oh! Sonic!
So strong.
Go! You're too slow! He did it! Sonic wins! And he goes hatch!
This is such a bad turn for the killer, Mathis.
That looked like he was memeing though, I'm not gonna lie.
That is horrible. What an outcome. from almost getting the 4K into getting 2 survivors out of the door.
I don't know enough Sonic quotes to make this funny. Wait, let me look at it.
I don't know enough. I don't know enough as well.
What's your favorite Sonic Games quote by Reddit? I believe in my future. Farewell to Shadow. Okay.
I can only drop something about Super Mario.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Why is Super Mario never lacking vitamin C? Because he always has a peach with him.
Do peaches have vitamin C? I didn't even know, so that didn't even make sense to me.
How does Mario Google something? He's using his internet browser. Internet browser. You get it, Mathis?
No. Of course I do!
Okay.
Yeah, you removed a whole letter. And it made it funny.
I removed a letter spontaneous.
Top 10 best quotes from the game. Let's go. I have no master except the wind that blows free. No, that's too bad.
Hello.
That's scary. Horror game.
I think some...
I'm not gonna check DMs, leave me alone.
Who meditates?
Please tell us.
A werewolf.
What does meditation have to do with where?
I don't get that.
Of location.
What do you call a wolf who meditates? A werewolf?
Oh, no.
I don't understand this one.
A werewolf, like vampire werewolf, but it's a werewolf.
Yeah.
To be aware of something.
Oh, where are
what does being aware have to do with meditation?
Yeah, because you're focusing concentration.
Jokes?
Just focusing on your chakra or what?
No, now I got it. It's actually funny.
No,
like,
it isn't.
Aware.
No, that's rather like what you call a wolf that reads the newspaper. A werewolf, because he knows what's going on in the world. Awesome.
I'm
always reading.
Again.
Yeah,
I'm always late, so I'm reading the old paper.
Yeah, I speak English, Mr. Producer in the background, bro. I know what that means, but it still doesn't make sense to me. I don't meditate. Who needs that?
Here's a joke for all the Germans in chat. Kriegen sich 2 Glatzen in die Haare.
Amazing.
Oh. Yeah, so how do we get this? How do we get the level up again? We kind of bumped the stream into a trash can. So
why does a true Brexit geezer not use Pop Goes the Weasel?
Why?
Because the only thing he does is pop down to the old shippy.
Oh god.
So that's good. It's not even good.
Why can you not regress the generators without having a phone? Because you cannot call Brian.
That's actually sad. I wish I could call him. Yeah, now we just need to think about jokes on the spot real quick. You know, I'm not the type of guy to just to tell jokes. I just say like stupid things, and those are just funny in context. Like hyperbole, I use a lot. Or I always see Cindy's also a very big fan of alliterations. That's something that friends and I used to meme constantly about in school.
Really?
I'm not gonna check GMs, leave me alone. I'm casting, bro.
Yeah,
Calling on
casting is actually good. Then we can bump the level up again towards competitive gameplay after slandering it in the break. Colin has played the Ghost Face earlier, so he seems to be a variety killer for his team, taking the responsibility here. Does get the first injury just as quick as in the previous trial. We love to see it, Mathis. Colin potentially coming in to 4K instantly.
Yes, 4K in 3, 2, 1. No, that's a rock. Yeah, Colin going for also once again Garuffa, our ace player in the first trial, and then also the Ghost Face player this time around on the Neo, as we did see Ace on Sparky on Ace in the previous game. Now it's going to be Garuffa, our original ace player tonight, now being on Neo. Now he's probably saying someone else on ace, and now he thinks, oh yeah, that's not original enough. I'm gonna go Neo, which is even less original, but still. Yeah, we've got decent gens, but these survivors are also working on staying on the main building generator very early on, which we did not see even touched in the previous trial, where even main building was the generator that stayed until the very end, and then they never were in a decent position to get started on it. We've got 2 generators very close to popping already, with the also exact same build by Colin with that Rune Undying Eruption once again. Rune Undying helping in the early stages of the trial as you're chasing, or when you've got the first hook, you basically just threaten survivors all around the map by blinking once in their general direction, and then making them think that the nurse is going to commit, and then they leave the gen, and then there's going to be a slight bit of regression, etc, etc, and then eruption obviously for the late game, for 3 gens, and so on.
Now I'm very hyped to see how this survivor team is going to tackle the pressure of the nurse. We have seen a brutally efficient survivor team in the previous trial, and it seems to be the same here. 2 gens already completed, just 1 stage and a down so far. They need to be careful with this double slug that is potentially coming out. Nice DH there. That's exactly how you do it. You go edge map, you fake to be edge map Andy, and then you're coming out of the Australian forest back into the game, pulling that DH. Very, very nicely done.
There's no forest there.
And we are... But I needed the forest as a metaphor for this DH here, so Garuffa is still... That's true, that counts as a forest.
That's a very scary area.
Garuffa is going on a run here, really serving the juice, not only with that 1 DH, no, we are instead going for quite a long run. Another half of a generator is coming out. If we don't get a couple of injuries, and if we don't get a couple of hook stages back to back, we will have quite some problem here. This is going to be Bitsy being on a generator right here. Cyber is orientating himself to them. They are trying to go for the reset, unfortunately, straight in the line of sight with the nurse. That's going to be punished potentially here. We will see the eruption coming in first, but after that, Bitsy should be the target of the nurse, and that's indeed the case right here. Now we're on a turning point potentially, because Nurse is expecting correctly that Cyber is going back, so he will also be injured. If the survivor team is now getting too confident, they might have a problem here. Thank you for the sub.
Yes. Great minds think alike. But yeah, that DH chase at first was extremely unlucky, because that's obviously exactly what you don't want as the nurse now, being really confident whether or not there's going to be a flashlight nearby. But to no avail, Garuffa will be picked up. The second DH does not come through. Our dear killer Colin will be able to get the down without it playing any significant role this trial. We see a triple reset as well. They do need to pop 2 more gens and get 2 stages out if they wish to still win. And Colin still has the eruption for late game ready as well. So this is going to be extremely difficult for our survivor side. I do have to say that I wish Colin wins this, because considering how close these trials are between both teams, I am hoping for a final scoreboard that represents how close this actually is, and not just a 5-0 where one team wins by 2 points every time. So I'm glad that Colin is putting in amazing work here, manages to get the Neo or Garuffa out of the game super quickly despite that dead hard. But still, there's a deliverance on Blitzy is still in the trial, as we just saw an unbreakable deliverance. So no matter what Colin did in that situation, that survivor wasn't going to be safe regardless. Either going to be a self-unhook or the unbreakable, but we had all souls rushing straight over and getting the pickup. Now, Blitzy just waiting for a suitable moment to go with that deliverance, and there we go. Cross map Colin, great illustration. Will allow, or will grant a Blitzy the winning opportunity he needed to activate that deliverance. A very just barely manages to bring through while he gives Colin the exact vision he needed onto Cybereye. That's going to be another injure with 2 generators remaining, 4 stages in. Colin desperately needs another kill if he wishes to match the result from the previous nurse or even make it past it. So, yeah, it will come down to most likely a 4K at some point if he wishes to win. Yeah, because there was one stage of the trial, so he needs a 4K.
And we see a little bit of a locker action here coming out from Bitsy. Generator number 4 will come out. Cyber is going to get hooked, but the nurse has no chance to make it over to Samurai in time. Now it's going to be tricky calculation starting for the survivors. We have 5 stages so far. 9 stages is what we had in the previous trial, so you do have a little bit more. Yeah, you can hand out a few more stages, but you need to be quick on the generator number 5 now, and then you also need to find quickly the way out of the door. So we have a little bit of more resources that we can use on the survivor hand, but it's not too much. It's getting towards that moment where we really need to call the outs very soon. Samurai is going to take the injury here, will go as far away from the active generators as possible, all the way into the corner here, dragging the killer away from the action, but unfortunately not able to go more than into the comp corner and taking the down right there. 10% already on this generator. Jesus, they are so quick on that generator. But of course, I mean, they just went for the save, instantly back to the generator, is proving their efficiency and their orientation onto the objective. So definitely what we need to see here. Will be interesting now if Colin finds the Kate or anyone being around the hook. That would be a huge punishment. We are waiting for the cooldown to apply eruption. It's going to be rough though for the killer as well here, because if we see this POV from the killer, we have one generator on the complete other side of the cold tower, so it couldn't be worse than that at all.
Yeah, this is exactly what you want against the nurse, something that our survivors were working towards in the previous trial. They did have 2 generators on one side and another almost close map, but not as amazing as this bit. Oh yeah, here Samurai taking advantage of this extremely thick rock on the hill that is always extremely difficult for any nurses to play around. Usually they are forced to end up just walking up. Yeah, Samurai will now finally go second stage. Colin only was 6 stages into the trial. They're not doubling up on any of these generators, however, so it is not going to be a quick end to the trial. We see Bitsy setting, or Blitzy, yeah. Bitsy setting up for the Anuk. Immediately, been watching too much Televar Boss, I guess. Bitsy immediately setting up for the Anuk. You see Samurai being found, or being caught off guard here. Edge map behind Shaq. There's absolutely no way out. Usually does find the Z-wall into the life into the Z-wall. That is huge. That's exactly why. Oh, amazing. A pallet stun right after, not even coming out of a blink. So that is going to grant Samurai oh so much more time that will be required if they wish to finish this game in their favor. But Colin is going to find Samurai trying to hide away in the little cubby of the Paladin, and they haven't been able to recover much of the gen pressure they had previously before Cybereye going down. So this is starting to look like a win for our nurse player. Still just playing very fair, not going for any tunnel out after Garaffa was eliminated. Now really splitting up the stages here, not trying to end it quickly with a 4K or with eliminating 2 survivors, and now really trying to go for even split.
Now Samurai 40 seconds away from the elimination. Bitsy and Cyber both injured, cannot go for the longest run. As soon as the nurse will find and track them down, we will have down and then potentially the hook. But generator on 90% now. They have smashed through it. What a great showing from the survivor team. Now let's calculate. Actually, the Kate and Jake both need to escape with these stages to keep it on 9, and then we have the perfect tie here. So going for the save and getting these survivors out of the door would be needed to go for the win. The difficulty is if
Oh.
this Kate is being hooked because she has only been one stage
Yep,
so far,
yep.
then we need all 3 survivors out of the door to make a tie. If Kate dies on hook and the other 2 escape, it will not be enough because that would be 10 stages. That is going to be the rough reality here, and I don't see, since they are both injured, how they are going to save Bitsy, and I think Colin just realized that as well.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Considering how close both of these trials have been, several outs in both trials, despite this now being 10 stages, unlike the 9 stages we saw last time. We get 2 trials in a row, but I mean, theoretically, but they are obviously forced to attempt to get this unhook here. It's not going to be too much of a ale unless Colin gets spun 10 times in a row. But yeah, it's not 2016 anymore, reality check. So, yeah, this is near impossible, but still they will have to make an attempt, otherwise they just win, or they lose by default if they had just decided to go out. So we'll just count this as a 10 stage, even if things go wrong here, which they undoubtedly will. Or if there were balanced landing here, that would have actually been quite close. I don't think he's gonna get it because of the stagger. No, he barely gets it. But yeah, Nancy's just gonna be stuck in the corner now. Yeah.
I mean, if these survivors are getting out here, all 3, that would be a catastrophe for the killer.
Oh, the killer.
You need a catastrophe.
Daya, I'm putting you in the nursing home after this before your dad jokes, they're becoming granddad jokes.
Okay,
I want to say they're dropping in quality, but they're just getting better and better.
Have you ever asked yourself why there's such bad air in an Apple store? That's because they don't have windows. They don't have windows.
That is a good analysis. I agree. And do you know why they're so vitamin deficient in Windows stores? Because there's no apples. Oh.
Yoo-hoo!
No, you know why they have to go to the doctor so often? Because only an apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's a double joke. That's a 2-in-1 deal.
Does maybe anyone have a question to
exactly.
bring it back on a... What sets are planned for today? That is a great question to bring us back. We are going to see 3 more sets, and we are going to play all 3 sets that are following. We have the Doctor, then we have a Mountain Killer, because it's the Hillbilly, and then at the end we have the Wraith on the Alive Cat Saloon, finishing off the best of 5.
Wow, he did the antithesis there. Are you impressed, chat? He said the opposite of what he was supposed to say. He uses a Ouija!
How does a Ouija?
But that reminds me of the old YouTube poop times, where people constantly invented this character Ouija. You know? This poorly drawn Luigi. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Where it was still funny to say, I'm a bow in Malaysia. Oh, that's terrible. People are gonna hate me.
Is Xenomorph ever allowed in any comp things? Yeah, certainly. Basically, when we are making an event, we are having a killer pool from, let's say, 15 to 23 killers. Right now, we have 19. And...
Are you only asking Daya hello? I'm here too. Psycho Mantis.
Basically, the rule committee is always selecting the killers based on the variety, based on what the chat wanted to see. We are, for example, noticing that a lot of people are missing the Huntress at the moment, so this is certainly something we are going to take for the
Bubba.
All Hollows League with us. Bubba, of course. There are some killers are not going to be in a pool for competitive DBD, mainly killers like the Pig, for example, because they carry a huge RNG factor that are not really possible to make fair and put in the competitive environment. But besides these few niche killers that are creating problems with RNG, anything is possible for the All Hollows League. That's Please, I love Huntress, noted.
Yeah. Is there any chance Vecna will be in the pool next season? Yeah, Vecna. Talking about Vecna. So, our goal with considering DBDLeague is the most prestigious competitive organization, we try to eliminate RNG as much as possible from the game, and by making it solely skill based. And Vecna goes into the category of being one of those killers, similar to Pig, where it's difficult to say, because both of those killers heavily depend on RNG. What we could do, because of the chests. So if you're lucky, you can just roll 2 20s with the D20 right at the start of the trial and get 2 of the most overpowered items in the game, where you just immediately win chase by default if you just jump into a lock on out. And that also allows for so much more potential with the Eye of Vecna, with the invisibility. So similar to Pig as well, where it's distributed by luck how long it takes for the first person to get the trap off, and that's gonna then pre-decide the rest of the trap. So obviously if you're the first one with the trap and you get it off first try, it's gonna be extremely hard for all your teammates, and vice versa. And yeah, and the same is with Vecna. So if you're lucky, you can just get extremely overpowered items right from the get-go. Yeah, so one option would be to just ban the chests altogether, but that would basically defeat half the purpose of the killer. But personally, I think that's completely fine, and the killer would still be really interesting, considering the fact that he's got 4 different abilities on his kit. But the chests do play a very important role. Still, it would be possible to do. That will definitely be something we will have to further discuss in the staff team. But yeah, as of now, for at least the next tournament, it's not planned that he would be included. Maybe there's gonna be a change.
Yeah.
That's still in the air. But yeah. So similar to Pig, where it's just RNG. The blanket dome I'm not using anymore. I realized that that's not worth it. Yeah, Terracon. Doctor! Now, this is my field of expertise. Not that I'm a medical...
Because you have medical issues or what?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I have severe medical issues, so I have to constantly talk to doctors, and that's why I know exactly how the shock works, because I am also treated that way to treat my psychosis and team trauma. No, obviously not. I'm very healthy, actually. But still. No, I do have an appointment with my doctor tomorrow, though. But that's about blood test. I'm not gonna add anything about that. No, it's standard procedure, okay? No one has to be worried. But yeah, coming back to the game. Calling on the Doctor. Doctor, one of my absolute favorite killers to play on. One of the most OG killers when it comes to 1v1s and chases. Yeah, that's exactly also what you need to do against Doc now. I'm gonna stop talking about the Doctor altogether, but the play that they just did is extremely important against Doc. Obviously, the person that is shocked can't interact with any of their surroundings, so no windows and no pallets is what that means during chase. And that's exactly where you need a helping hand that drops pallets for you. Sometimes taking it is crucial against the killer. And if you play your cards right, then you get exactly one of those pallet stuns, which are huge. Oh yeah, Colin also getting duped on the L wall. That's also amazing that Samurai got the vault outside, or from the inside to the outside, and Colin landers on the inside, because that forces Colin to walk all the way around, while Samurai already has access to the majority of the map. Fantastic timing here by Samurai. Immediately goes for the window instead of staying around the pallet, where eventually you will be hit. And this is exactly what you want to do. You want to be able to run a move with a connecting window nearby. So the moment you realize, yeah, if I run this for another move, I will for sure be hit, you just go to the window and avoid your hit that way.
And this is such a good first chase. We don't even see too many body blocks just yet. This is the first one by the Claudette right here, so you don't have to sacrifice too much just yet. So much time being taken away from the killer. Survivors cranking on generator number 3 already. Colin struggling to get the first hit. There's a little bit of a teabag coming in as well. Maybe a little bit of provocation here by Samurai, showing to Colin, well, you cannot stop us. We are strong when we are all together. Next generator is already on 50%, but you will not reach this pallet right here. Colin going instantly for the pickup. I would be a little bit worried that there is someone for a pallet save, but the answer is no, Samurai has already moved away. First hook stage so far, definitely great and confident start from the Survivor team. They also pulled away from the active generator, prioritizing the reset first. Really like to see that. Shows us that the Survivor team is calculating how much risk can we take, how much are we on the generator at the moment, how much time would we potentially need, and not getting too confident after a strong first chase and saying, well, let's take care of the health states first, and when this is settled, then we can talk about the objectives, is an absolute great consideration here. Well done to the Survivor team.
Our chat has already reminded us we can't forget about the bigger name from one of the previous community nights. Daya, what is dementia?
I don't know. I forgot.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's like that Joe Biden meme. Oh, I made the flashlight save in the background as I'm trying to say. It's like that Joe Biden meme where he wears a sunglasses and the eagle in the background. My doctor said that I have dementia. Bro, I don't remember asking.
America can be described in one word.
No. I know the exact thing he uttered there. Asafutama. That's what he said. America can be described in one word. Asafutama. That's. I mean,
it's a metaphor.
Exactly. It's like the negative constant press kafifi by Donald Trump in 2016 or whatever he posted that. But yeah, funny that we're talking about Biden now because my philosophy professor today at uni also commented on how the air in here is quite thick. If I have a Joe Biden moment, then please warn me. he was afraid of stuttering or losing track of his own words there. But yeah, still in the meantime, we've seen a flashlight save, which is extremely rare against the Doctor, because usually whenever you're in tier 3, obviously you're not going to be able to use your flashlight. Our Survivor team somehow pulling off so many plays here, and even avoiding wasting that much time. Edge map is amazing against Doctor. Our Survivors are doing fantastically. Amazing teamwork here. We've seen several second chances provided by our teammates for one another. And this is looking really, really grim for our killer of looking really grim of our killer from, what's the team name? Insomnia and what is it? I have to mention. What's the second team name?
Betrayal.
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 Yeah, Colin. Yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
okay,
Samurai, the second person. Look, yeah, come back.
Yeah, I'm back from the Joe Biden analyzing. Garafa here taking an injury. Now Garafa actually needs to stay alive for a little bit because having a double down basically wouldn't be what the survivors are looking for, but they are able to drag the attention over to the shack because Cheryl is working on a generator already. Colin realizes that, is switching over immediately, tries to go for the shocks here. He should get the injury, but our survivor is not wasting this pallet, keeping the resources for later. Reset coming in once again. I like to see this great switch from Insomnia between brutal efficiency and risky plays, and knowing now is a good time where we can go for the reset, and then also not making the window of the shack, unfortunately, because that was a very beautiful shock right there from our Doctor. Survivors though all healthy, so they can split across the generators, they can get back onto getting the pressure into the objectives. Good calculations so far. We have 3 stages so far. Now they need to protect Cheryl from getting eliminated very soon. Garafa is already setting up for the rescue there. I mean, I love what the Survivor team is showing so far. They pulled a lot of great places. They are very altruistic, and it all works out. They just need to make sure now that in all this style gameplay, they don't forget about the gents, because we do have 2 more to go. And if Colin is getting a quick unexpected down, then the plan might start falling a little bit.
Doctors depends on getting a very early a kill, because a 4v1 is basically unplayable for this killer. And with that base look now and 3 generators remaining somehow, despite the large amount of altruistic availability by our team at the start of the trial. Still not going to be enough here. You see Garafa trying to go for a risky player. You could just body block the door here though, and not allow, or forcing Garafa to go all the way around to go for the vault here, because technically it doesn't count as a game-breaking body block or holding someone hostage, because all you can do is just go around and go for the window. A last-second rescue comes through. Cyber sacrifices himself for a third chance that Nox will now get finally. Colin tries to shock upstairs here, but yeah, that is completely horizontal, so that's not going up or down like the pyramid heads could potentially go. But yeah, with Lux now being running out of the basement unscathed, that's going to be a huge turnaround for this trial here, because now obviously our killer's going to go back for Cyber and get the hit in basement. However, the survivor is still on first hook, so he's not going to perish anytime soon, and they will be able to get a full reset here, even snap out.
A rough situation now for the killer still, but we are making a little bit of progress, because Cyber is a fresh hook, so that would be 6 stages if that survivor is dying. You might get someone else in the end game, especially with that no one escapes death. And we still have a whole generator to prepare, so survivors definitely starting to lose control a little bit, and it's such a great comeback here from Colin. Constantly also pressuring Claudette now. She's relatively useless here, I would say. She now has to snap out of it. She wasn't able to pressure the generator, so maybe a little bit too much confidence now coming out as well. Colin realizing that the survivors have decided that they will now go for the rescue. He's not that far away, so we might see a trade coming in right here. Claudette is already injured. Straight back upstairs, might be able to just go for that. Or you prioritize Cyber, because then you have the chance to go for that tunnel out and go for the elimination, since Giraffe was the fresh hook, I believe. So you definitely have that advantage here. One hook stage has already been put onto Jay. Quick down here as well. Colin doing a very good job now. We go into end games, so we will need a know-it speedrun. They are going for the full reset, unaware what endgame perk we are going to face in a second here. But Mathis, 5 stages now. How many more do you think? Will we get one of the fresh hooks? Hopefully, right? Especially, Claudette is the one that we really want to get here.
So he will have to focus on, well, speaking of the Devil Vest, Claudette, that's exactly the style you want. A down on Claudette, like kill on Claudette, would provide a with 8 stages in total. It seems like either survivors were aware of the fact, or they just went for the body block for the hacker bit to grant Garafa that extra bit of safety. We need to also justify the fact that our survivors managed to actually get 2 unhooks from basement. Doctor is straight up terrible when it comes to defending hooks for tunneling. All he can do is shock and then sometimes, or postpone the inevitable unhook. But you can basically always get an unhook against the Doc, and it's gonna be extremely difficult to tunnel, because Doctor doesn't have anything besides his basic M1 that applies the injured status effect, or that injures survivors in general. And also he obviously doesn't have any mobility, and the shocking only does so much in chases themselves. But if you've got several people taking hits, there is absolutely nothing you can do if the survivors played right. Now with Garafa down, it depends on, that Noid is right behind the hook. That is one dead Claudette if I've seen one. And it seems like our survivors have also taken or recognized that fact, and they're probably just gonna escape here, because I don't think there's any way they escape with Garafa in the trial as well. So yeah, that is everybody hooked. 8 stages in total. A solid result for Doctor.
Absolutely. Considering where we started earlier, with that rough first chase taking so long, a flashlight save in between as well. When we look at what the Doctor faced, what the survivor team threw into the way that 8 stages is definitely great, and especially on for survivors, for individual survivors hooked here. Great job by the killer. 8 stages is definitely something that you can work with in your upcoming survivor trial. We will go on a quick break this time, and we will see you in a few moments for the second Doctor trial.
This time, now it's time for Dire's scheduled crying session.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello, Dyer. How's it going?
It's going really good because we are watching the
Yes!
Doctor, the Shockter on the red shop, and Mathis, you're the Doctor expert. When
Yes,
you have a
because
win
I have to
condition
see
of
so
8
many.
stages, you have so many IL. But how do you play as a survivor
hate that
team
joke.
when you have only 8 stages? Like, what is important now for the survivor team to counter that win condition?
I'm gonna summarize it in 2 words. Play well. Thank you for allowing me to provide you with that insight. No, of course not. So, basically what they need to do is do what the other team did in the first set, where we saw an amazing display of teamwork around the first person that was being attempted to tunnel out. Yeah, exactly how we go. That's already the head-on stun. It's exactly what you need against the Doc, and maybe even a flashlight save. That was definitely the biggest game changer of the previous trial. There could have been an much earlier execution, but instead we saw a second chance given to the Survivor. Oh yeah, this is where you see also the importance. He could have had the pellet there. I don't know what he's doing. This is where we see the importance of these smaller elements of tiles that you would usually never use against any killer, but they become extremely important against Doctor, as we just saw by Sonic, who could have easily made it to the pallet after baiting out the shock on that tile. There was some. Yeah, they're really just going for these hit tanks. It doesn't seem like they're very confident on any of these pallets. But we also now see a big change in perks for the killer side. Instead of just using the perk that on one hand takes away your blood ability to gain blood loss, but gives you 5% speed or haste for every hit, or after every hit you get. So. Plus save the rest for last. There's basically, this is basically a statement from the Doctor, no hit tanking allowed. Because that is going to be huge for hit tank, or not going to allow any of them, or make him severely ineffective. So yeah, we see a very early down already, much faster than we saw in the previous trial. Real Cross struggled a bit to get that first hit. Yeah, we see Windheaded immediately taking the clobber. The chase will continue on Sonic, this time playing Adam. I don't think we've seen an Adam yet. I'm really liking the variety, actually, that the survivors are turning up with. I don't think they've played a single survivor twice so far, both teams. Because oh, he's got the OP tile here. The fat chain. That's actually true. Neither the Doctor nor the Adam can pass through. But he fumbles it immediately and Sonic goes down edge map. One thing also to notice in the previous trial, we saw an amazing edge map play on this exact palette and didn't even have the extension there. So Survivor should have gotten much more out of that. But yeah, we see there's a pretty big disregard of all these tiles, and they're just going for hit tanks over and over. They're not really playing all these tiles, and as someone who loves 1v1ing Doc, it's like a knife right in my heart. But yeah, I hope we're gonna see much more that they adapt their playstyle and try to extend chases on their own instead of depending on their teammates so much, because at this point it's looking really, really good for Garoffa.
Now we are going to see the decision from the killer if we will see a full camp into the elimination, or if we are going to see some aggressive chasing, spreading it across the 4 survivors, and therefore getting the 9 stages in. That's going to be the interesting one, but I think we have the decision very clear. It is going to be the full camp into the death, but it's not going to work out because Nancy is now moving in. She will take a hit, and she could even take it down for Sonic here because she is healthy or was healthy and has 2 minutes of hang time. So anyone dying at the moment is better than Sonic going down back onto the ground. Colin is also going to take a hit. We are going to see though our killer brought this alien graphic brutality as well, and will take a little bit of an extra speed. Shocks coming out. Adam on not the safest pallet, that's for sure, but will hold W away from this pallet onto this very weak filler tile on the edge map. 5 stacks of the save the best for last as well, so we even prepare for a little snowball there at the moment. Mathis, we are losing 1 survivor, definitely rough for this survivor team, but I'm even more worried about the gens at the moment because only 2 gens is not a lot.
And that's exactly what I meant when I was talking about how they were really focusing on these altruistic actions here. Instead of allowing Sonic to just chase on his own, they all decided to fully commit to taking hits over and over. And out of everyone, Colin was the one that was never really available for the first half of the trial, or for the main part of the trial so far. As we saw, more and more save the best for last stacks accumulating, and Colin only took that one hit right before Sonic perished as well. So that's 5 stacks right now, with more to come as Winter Edit is about to be in, most likely very soon to be injured. Also pre-dropping this God filler, yeah, that is profanity. Or blasphemy rather, not profanity, it's blasphemy. It's blasphemous. Yeah, Winter Edit will take that first hit, and that's gonna... Yeah, we just see that incredible recovery speed by our Doctor. He's been taking supplements, and he's not in for any soreness whatsoever. Immediately back to go again. With 6 stacks, plus rapid brutality. Finally, Colin with another hit tank, gonna subtract 2 more points. But still, that's 4 left, and that's gonna be a lot of recovery time added, or reduced rather, and that is going to be barely enough for our killer to get the down onto Winter Edit before he makes another loop. That's going to be the 4th stage of the game. Still need to take into consideration that's only the 2nd unique survivor hooked, but there's still pain res available for all of these survivors. So there is so much potential for Garoffa to get a decent 4K result as well.
Now Winter on the hook, and Sparky with the responsibility to show us a great chase, and it needs to be one hell of a chase. We need to unhook, we need to heal, we need to repair 3 generators, so it needs to be the run of the gods. Unfortunately, though, we do have a lot of resources and a lot of pallets that have been already thrown, so there's not so much Sparky can work with. That's the problem here, but Doctor decides to go back onto the main building area, checking on the generators or switching over to the next survivor that we have over here. That is going to be back to Sparky now. After all, we did a little bit of sightseeing on the wreckers, on the wretch shop, and now we're back onto Sparky, our original chase that we started with, trying to snipe with a shot onto the survivor, and that even works, making this pallet a lot weaker. Sparky now forced to the shorter side of the loop, will make it back towards the shack, but I don't think that's enough for the window, so Sparky also going down now. 60% in the main building. 4th generator potentially here, 30% away. I mean, you get that 4th generator if the Doctor is not anticipating that you're over here at the moment. Sparky, however, will also add some hang time for the survivor team. The Scorcho Pain Res is doing a little bit of work there onto the main building. It is rough, Mathis. I feel like this is another good example where efficiency, or missing efficiency on the generators, really has a punishing factor, even though the survivor team in chase played well.
Yeah, this is extremely rough. We've now got to the point where Garoffa is basically just going to slowly bleed out the survivor team. He's still got another pain res available on Colin, and now all he needs to do really is, I'm pretty sure he could even just commit to individual chases now, because all he needs now is match the win condition that was set up, which would be 9 stages for Garoffa, as our killer achieved 8 in the previous trial. So a 4K isn't even necessary, but he's in a very good position to still get that. So yeah, he is just gonna end up camping Sparky to 2nd stage. It's gonna be Colin, Fresh, Winter Edit on 1st, and Sparky on 2nd. So we've already got 6 stages in, so all he needs to do now, mathematically also, is find Colin. There's Colin. I don't know what the play was there, but Colin just going to donate the win to our killer there. Might have tried to go for the pallet and jump into the locker, but the locker is so much closer, so... my guy's trigger finger was itching, I guess. Oh, guess that's the kill.
It is, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, and the locker jump as well, not gonna subtract from the surplus for last stacks. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it could not have been worse. Aye.
Am I lagging? Hello?
Hello, Dyer. How's it going?
I'm not lagging anymore. Winter Edit! Winter Edit needs to go. I mean, we said this a couple of times now, and this pretty much indicates the problem. What the survivor teams missed in this trial. We said a couple of times now, this survivor that is in chase needs a very long chase in order to balance the survivor team back into the game, or bounce the survivor team back into the game. And whenever you're in the position on the survivor team where you lost so much time that you are now forced to have a perfect chase for almost several minutes to make up for it, then it's showing you have lacked the efficiency in the early game, and now you're basically running against that, and the to-do list is just getting too long. The survivors here constantly trying to get back into it, but we have the quick downs, we have the injuries that need to be healed, and all of that is just too strong. And it's not the first trial that we also see where Betrayal is kind of lacking the efficiency measure. So as a big feedback, as a big homework, what Betrayal could work on, I would definitely say efficiency in the first 2 minutes of the trial. What do you think?
Difficult to tell now that we've still got so many perks in my graph. I think what it really lacked was base knowledge against Doctor, because this killer is very unique and you need to develop certain set of skills to be able to counter it. So this isn't your standard M1 killer. There's so much more to him. There's a really unique playstyle you need to develop to counter his ability in chase and be able to run it for a long time. And unfortunately for Sonic, he hasn't probably hasn't played much against a Doctor in this environment, where they really know how to set their shocks, and in this case we are provided with. So it's really unfortunate for Sonic, and a lot of his teammates just went in for hit tanks way too early, didn't allow him to have any breathing room in his own chases, didn't allow him to perform much on his own. It was always about that was a play, worked out though. Yeah, didn't give him much of a chance to prove himself there, and it was always about his teammate coming in for hit tanks. And as you were shocked at first as well with the gen pressure, it was 3 gens left still when there was 1 survivor dead. And the previous trial we were on 2, I believe, or 1 even, when the first survivor finally bit the dust with base knocks as well. That scared me a bit. When our survivors were still able to get all of those exploiting the weaknesses Doctor has when it comes to camping and tunneling, because he can't really do it. There's nothing in his base kit that helps with ending chases, or with giving him mobility, or somehow going past that M1 barrier that he has, or the M1 potential that he has. Of course, with shocks, it's going to be a much shorter chase, because that's any good Doctor will basically never allow you to vault or drop a pallet, which isn't always granted, considering you can always take hits. So this is where Doctor becomes very weak if the team play is set up accordingly. He might actually get an alpha. Yeah, because that's not gonna do much against the local. He does actually escape, so it is not going to be an 8. It's not going to be a 4K. It is going to be a 10-stage game. But yeah, it's really came down to the chases, I'd say, and that the early 3v1 allowed Gorafa to hone in on his regression with Painers. And then also there was basically no chance for them to take hits any longer once the save the best for last stacks have already accumulated, plus the rapid brutality.
Insomnia, congratulations for taking the 3rd set. So yes. It's 2-1 now. Betrayal is down by 1 set point, but we have 2 more sets, so they could just go for the 2-2 here and put the pressure back. We have the Billy next on the Blood Lodge. Billy, a killer that is gaining popularity. Billy is a killer that is getting more and more fans of the competitive environment. People were very skeptic after the update and said, isn't this a little bit overtuned? But especially since the survivor teams are now used to this very strong Billy, and we see some ideas, some counter ideas like the no mither to prevent slugging. It has turned into a very interesting set. In the meanwhile, we're on a short break, so do you have any questions about Season 9, the playoffs, upcoming tournaments, anything you always wanted to know about DBDL? Then this is the perfect moment to ask such questions.
Daya, I have a question. When are Oracle gonna play?
When they sign up.
You know, it's the standard question. Why are they not spinning? Or why are they not doing the 360?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was I can't find the video any longer, sadly. I should have clipped it when I watched it. But there was this one YouTuber with a very thick accent from, well, it wasn't English, certainly. And he kept saying how he was the king of 360. I've never heard anyone call it 360 up until that point. I had a good laugh that night.
Oh, wait, we have
360.
Wait, we have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you have to. 720 even. But 3 questions in a row. What is your favorite animal? Bunnies. How does the staff find out whether a DC is on purpose or caused by connection? So, first of all, in our rule set, we are saying that the survivor who's disconnecting is in the responsibility to prove that the DC was not on purpose. So what you can do is, if you get a crash with the engine crash report, for example, you can take a screenshot of the entire screen with the timestamp and the date. Or you can screen share real quick while it's still on your monitor, and you can show it to the staff member that is sitting in the VC. During the Season 9, during the big tournament, we could say, we have to... we have staff members in there. You can also tell, for example, if someone is mid-sentence and they are just in a normal call-out, and then out of nowhere the survivor is cutting out, well, then you can tell it was internet. When the mood is good, like, I'm not talking about someone who's potentially leaning over, turning off the router to fake that the internet went out. But if they are in a winning position, for example, or if they just played and they are laughing and they are having a good mood, and now out of nowhere the survivor mid-sentence cuts out, this is also telling you this is unexpected. So it's a little bit context related, but with the responsibility being on the players, with all of them having clipping tools, with screen share being possible, a staff member in the VC, we have a pretty good idea what's happening there. Snaggles, about PS4 recording, what I recommend, you can put your phone, like, let's say you're playing on the sofa, you're playing on TV, put your iPad or your phone, put the camera up, point the phone towards the TV, and then this is your video evidence, and when nothing happens, you just delete the clips out of your gallery, so it's not cluttered and full of trash. This would be my workaround suggestion for that.
We can hear your parents arguing in the background. Oh yeah, Dai, I know you skipped me on that question, what was my favorite animal, because you probably expect me to just say bunnies as well, right?
It is bunnies.
I have a confession to make, it actually isn't.
What is it then?
Bunnies are my second favorite animal. My favorite animal is actually sharks. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Why that?
I don't know, they're just cool. My favorite, coolest fish. What's your fraud? What's your favorite dinosaur? Oh, I mean, any, like, raptor is really cool. T-Rex as well. Probably either Spinosaurus or Stegosaurus. Daya, what's your favorite dinosaur? If you even have one. Maybe let's skip this because I didn't ask you. Piss off.
I mean, my favorite dinosaur is a British dinosaur, the T-Rex. No, I actually don't. I'm not into dinosaurs at all.
You're not a man. You didn't have a childhood. Daya, what's your favorite kind of tea?
My favorite tea. Actually, I have a favorite tea. It's Turkish apple.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. I think that's with cinnamon, right?
Turkish apple.
Yeah, iced tea, yes. My favorite tea is actually green tea jasmine or lemon. Definitely green tea mix or blends. That's best. Why talking about dinosaur? Why not, bro? Everybody loves dinosaurs, come on. Wait, what? How does the song go again? I know it ends with everybody do the dinosaur. Forgot what it's. Well, how does it start? Turkish apple is amazing, yeah. Well, how does it start? Someone in chat remind me. There's probably some natives in chat.
Schna schnappi.
Oh, yes! That's awesome.
Schnappi,
But there was like
schnappi,
another
schnapp.
question, wasn't there? Let me check. Scan real quick. Everybody do the dinosaur. Oh, yeah, someone's asking about applications for the DBDLeague team. Dino nuggies or chicken? Okay, no, there is a correct answer, Sino. So chicken nuggets and dino nuggies. Dino nuggies are better because they are 100% dinosaur. Meanwhile, normal nuggies are 0% dinosaur. So, clear answer, clear winner. There's only one correct answer. Yeah, are you Team King Kong or Godzilla all the way? I actually don't like. You know, a lot of people are big fans of monkeys and chimps. No, I'm not. Never liked the animal that much. I've never been interested in, like, whenever I'm at the zoo, never interested in the chimp exhibition. Yeah, thank you. I'm not reading that out. That's
We are back. Oh, no Spanish, por favor.
English or
Por favor, hallo,
yeah, I said it wrong again.
Četnos Angelska. And Ninja is going down instantly into the trial. That was a nice one hit right there. This is exactly how you want to start the trial with the Billy on the Blood Lodge. Sparky, Sonic, and Colin did not even have the time yet to spread across the generators, so that's going to be a major setback, and it seems like our Billy already knows where the next survivor is. Sonic escaping just out of this area here and trying to go away. That's going to work because our killer decides to go into defending the hook stage, and honestly, Mathis, with 20 seconds for a down, that's more than understandable.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much potential, Billy. You don't even need to tunnel, but camp that much anymore because there's just so much potential in getting down so quickly if you can manage to capitalize off guard. I still believe that if you play your OG Billy knowledge, if you want the kill out for a long time, that your chase shouldn't end in 10 seconds. If the Billy's extremely good and manages to catch you off guard, then yeah, sure. But even when I played, I've never gone down that quickly. Like, there's always something you can do. But those extremely scary 180s that you can do. Sonic going down, getting demolished. Oh, there's a boost tower defense emotes in chat. That's awesome. Oh, Bicep. Oh yeah, I know that guy as well. Anyway, yeah, there's so much potential with Billy, but still, I believe if you're very confident against Billy and know exactly everything that he can do when it comes to 180s, 90-degree flicks, and even when it overcharges where it becomes really threatening, but because even then an experienced killer, Survivor is not going to be able to do much against it. But still, I believe there's so much you can do against Billy, and the killer is often overestimated in things. But still, he's rightfully so in among Nurse and Blight. I mean, just look at this. It's two individual status with him. And that was also just awesome. Garaffa chainsaw past Sonic here so he doesn't make it to the pallet. Now that's one of those extremely smart techniques that only really advanced killers will do. Or finger guns was the first to do it, if you still remember the best of the best winner from back in 2021, or late 2020. Where finger guns also was the one that started lunging past survivors to body block windows and then chainsaw down survivors. So yeah, that's technically the same thing what Garaffa just did, and also just another very aggressive great flick onto Sonic. The DS comes through. Oh no. Fire. I hope that wasn't missed there. No, that's deactivated. That was absolutely missed. Well, Sonic.
Well, we had that in the past. On Spectate. It's very buggy. We were already blaming Zaka one time for missing the DS, and then he still had it. So let's hope that Sonic still has it. Nice crouch tech here. And this is what you need now. Playing Minecraft on the killer side. They're playing Minecraft again, earning plus 10 wood and plus 10 wardrobe right there, but that's not what you really want. You need a few hook stages, but now starts the slugging because the killer is confident Sparky is close by as well, so you have the potential that you take the healthy survivor onto the floor, and now starts to struggle for the survivor team as well. Sparky will be left alone though, because our killer is realizing that they are going for Colin next, going to defend that survivor. We can only hope that the survivor team is somehow finding time to go for the resets and somehow being able to go for a few more generators, because a 4K on 3 wouldn't look too great. So yeah, toy to Betrayal here.
Yeah, what our killer needs to do, Garaffa really needs to eliminate either Sonic or Ninjas now. With Billy, it's not as important. I will lean further to the window here. It's not as important to get to ensure a 3v1 very early on. Of course, it's going to help tremendously. Oh yeah, you did preserve it, yes, so it's still there. So I'm gonna take back all the hate and criticisms. I apologize, Sonic. Did still have the decisive strike available. Billy's going around though. Oh, I thought he was taking the sound there quite nicely. I expected Billy to come around from the other side. Yeah, that urban evasion is going to help a lot in chase with regards to crowd protection, so it's always lovely to see. One of my favorite perks. Yeah, I think with that urban evasion and smash, that's probably two of my favorites to bring as well against Billy. It's just extremely fun to use and has so much utility against this killer. Yeah, now we see Garaffa actually forced to leave the chase with Sonic because that decisive strike allowed for such a long waste of time, and the coup de grace that Garaffa is using as his fifth perk will allow to get the down onto Ninjas, and this is the first death of the trial, and a 3v1 against the Billy is incredibly difficult to play against. So yeah, with Sonic as well being close to death, Colin's slowly going for the cleanse here. Yeah, also, just gonna have to point out that crowd control buff that I know this is a bit old now, because I'm pretty sure that was 2 or 3 months ago. But I can really see why crowd control is so popular on Billy now. It is so strong. Now, whenever the sniper walks a window, it is blocked for an entire minute. So that window is basically out of the chase right when they get the window is vaulted. The only way you can counteract the effect is if you manage to find another window, because only one window can be blocked at a time by a survivor. So yeah, you really need to look at the window that you're blocking. If it's Shack window, you vault it once and you have to leave it entirely. There's no way you come back to it. Yeah, really unfortunately for Sonic, will not be able to pull off much with that urban evasion, because Garaffa has a steady hand and will not be juked in the open as easily as that. Colin will be found as well. Has the sprint burst to turn that and crack out the gap here. Very freaky crowd. It should have been a deserved down here for Garaffa, man. Get the M1 right after. And that's only one survivor standing. Sparky, the ace that was bullied out in the very first game he played, is now the last man standing. And Garaffa's objective now is to find said survivor and ensure the 4K on 2 generators remaining. Because with Billy nowadays, you kind of expect the 4K. So 4K2 is the least that he's hoping for here.
And now we are going to find Sparky, hopefully, for Garaffa here. Sparky is the only survivor still standing, and he could also make a little bit of a twist, right? If you accept the 4K2 and then Sparky is trying to escape in the end game, your killer can theoretically make a 4K2. This is possible when we are talking about a Billy set on the Blood Lodge, and then you can break the tie in your favor because you got an end game escape, and the other team, your killer, is going to get 12 clean stages. So this is a possibility. So Sparky might just want to go into the hide and seek game, sacrifice Colin basically, and then you are talking about the potential of breaking a tie when your killer gets a 4K2 as well. This would be a possibility, and since Colin is now being picked up, this will be the choice for Sparky. Hatch is not really something you can go for because we are forcing offerings for the Hatch spawn location, removing the RNG as much as we can. Therefore, Hatch is not really an option, but Sparky could go for an exit door, but they will actually go for a safe. Mathis, I don't think this is the best play here because we've seen how oppressive this Billy is. We have no generators that are currently being worked on, so I would have taken the 4K2 and tried to escape and get a few stages out of the door.
Well, Dire is the good decision because there's absolutely no way you would ever get an escape against the Billy nowadays. You're just gonna stand on hatch and then change the gates. But we also don't know exactly where the gates are, so maybe they're in extremely unequal positions for our killer and where you couldn't really chainsaw too, but Billy has the best mobility in the game, so I don't think there's any way our survivor would escape through a gate here if they're on their own. So getting the unhook here, hoping that Sparky is gonna get some value of that tenacity flip-flop at some point, which was very unfortunate considering Sparky was the only survivor that was never chased, really. So it could have gotten much more value out of that, and now Colin, last man standing, all he can really do now is get on the gen. I do have to say that this is probably a worse position they are in now than when Colin was on hook. But yeah, I simply cannot believe that a survivor could out against the Billy. Considering his mobility.
Yeah, it's really rough. Like, since Billy received this attention from behavior, it's almost impossible to go for an out. So yeah, I think even if you get all generators done, that is already a huge success. Yeah. But once you got that final generator, making it out against such a mobile and strong killer is really hard. Sparky is trying to work on a generator. I really admire what they are trying. I really admire that they are not giving up here. I am afraid though that Colin is now being located as well, and that it comes to a clean end with the 4K2 here. He has no time to go for the pickup there as well. So Colin being in the corner here, 4K2. That is a possible result. You can work with that. It's definitely not the best one though. So the survivor team would have definitely wanted to go for the 4 gen here, because then your player can go around the 3 gen and the other survivor team cannot ignore it. This would be possible just now. Garafa is now trying to find Sparky. This is the problem when you are going for such a confident slug, then you need to find the meat pieces afterwards that are scattered around the Blood Lodge. Good trial from the Billy, definitely very nice to spectate. Well done, Garafa here, closing the hatch now as well, prioritizing that over finding Sparky. Very understandable decision, not risking anything here. And yeah, there will be a rough trial though for our killer in the upcoming trial. That's going to be Betrayal on the killer side in the upcoming one. You need a 4K on 3 gens, and that will be relatively hard, man.
4K2, I believe that's the only result you could possibly tie. 4K3 is possible with Billy. Definitely if the survivors start off very uncoordinated. Now there's Trench in chat. Ban, buddy! Banned and cancelled. Yeah, but now the flip-flop might come in handy, but half has already been closed, so there's absolutely no way that our survivor would ever escape this trial. So yeah, that's just going to cross the chase in these troubling times. Got Garafa with a very solid performance, also with I'd say classic build. Maybe you'd usually see an Undying Silver Pop Ghost, because that pop obviously never came in handy this entire trial. Only ever been a Ruin that was up all game, and the crowd control, Thanatophobia, all coming in very handy. So depending on that, our killer might have something better up his sleeve, since he's got no value out of pop. So yeah, that Ruin is just so strong with Billy as well, since he's constantly able to push the survivors off generators. It really reminds me of the good old times when Blight was just released and we had that Ruin Undying Tinkerer combo. So you could basically never cleanse it, and you'd always have your gens regressing, because he's all over the place. And that's what Garafa now just showed off what the Hillbilly can also do. So in the upcoming trial, we will have to see at least the 4K3 if a win wants to come through, but I think the best our killer could realistically do is tie the score. Unless we've got the best Billy in Olive Comp up ahead, then maybe we see something spicy. But realistically, I'd say this is either going to be a tie or a win for Garafa's Billy.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, 3 gens is what you really always complete against the Billy if it's not going absolutely horrible. So we would talk at least about a tie. And then, as we mentioned, you can ignore the 3 gen in this case. You only need generator number 4. So you don't need to plan ahead. You don't need to worry about how many stages do we need to get out of the door. You can just smash 4 gens. And that should be possible, especially since we've seen Insomnia being an efficient survivor team. We will hop on a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you right after a short intermission.
No, Sinister Fox, we're never releasing a DVD League dating up. Thank you very much. Welcome back, everybody, to Now Ninjas. Yeah, on the Hillbilly. I forgot the team name again. I know the one is Insomnia. Yeah, Betrayal. Representing Team Betrayal. Thank you very much. On the killer side now, he's got the Rapper, the man of the evening, I'd say. On Ace, once again, the survivor he played at the very beginning, hiding behind the locker, avoiding that first chainsaw that could have been lethal to him. So yeah, Garafa, the Hillbilly player, is also in the match just now with a 4K on 2 generators remaining. So, and then to pull off a great performance here. Sadly, doesn't get the pallet break here, so it's going to be forced to just leave the chase for now, as continuing it further would have wasted way too much time, and this is going to allow our survivors to get so much gen pressure here all around the map. We've got Sideway hiding away in the middle of the map here and doesn't want to be found just yet. The first generator does come flying. And this is so far really good momentum for Survivor side. We haven't seen anything like it in the previous trial. We had a very early down right at the start of the trial, and our Ninjas is almost so struggling to find that first, or to connect that first chainsaw hit onto any of these survivors. They are playing these safe turns as well as they could.
Now we are moving around here with the Cheryl and the Shaq, but Ninja decides he doesn't want to go for a confident or even anticipating curve with the chainsaw, and instead just goes when he has the line of sight. I don't think Cheryl would make the window there, but she does indeed, getting into the Shack in time. Unfortunate for Ninja here, who's losing a lot of pressure in this early game. 1 generator has already been completed, a second one coming out now. So the survivor team of Insomnia showing us again how efficient they are, and Ninja's still trying to get the down here. We get a couple of resources out of the way. That's definitely a good way for the mid game, and we shouldn't underestimate that. Once the Blood Lodge is empty of the resources, the Billy is constantly able to snowball and chain downs together. But 3 generators are already completed, and if I heard that right, Mathis is back from playing the Postman.
Hello, no, I'm still yet to be notified by my neighbor, don't worry. I'm here the entire time. I told you I would announce it while I'd leave. But yeah, I'm still waiting on that notification. Yeah, I'm holding a parcel right now for one of my neighbors. So I'm still waiting on the notification for anyone who's confused in chat now or watching this later on YouTube. So yeah, so far 0 stages at 2 generators remaining. This is going very wrong for Ninjas, and I don't think there's any way our killer can come back from this. So yeah, with 0 stages, 2 I don't think, is there even anyone in chase? Yeah, finally, we've got Lux in chase, a Cheryl player from the previous trial, also pretty sure playing the same character. Ninja's trying to go for kills around these trials, but our survivors are just guessing it right every single time and just leading at the exact right moment when needs be. So yeah, we hear footsteps again. It's gonna be Garafa, but yeah, this is just gonna be a 3 points for Team Insomnia. It looks like, since they've got still no stages, no downs yet. Not even any, yeah, I mean, there we go, the win condition is already broken. That's going to be 3-1 for Team Insomnia. Technically already ending the best of 5 if we had one here, but obviously there's, we are still going to play out the 5th set regardless of the result, despite the fact that Insomnia have already won 3 sets here. But yeah, it's not about that, as I stated in the intro. Yeah, Ninja sadly is struggling to get any of these downs here. Most likely not, I can imagine, yeah, depending on who picked the school, I'm going to check that one. Let me scroll up. There are a lot of cheese wheel memes in the map chat. Hillbilly was picked by Insomnia, so yeah, makes sense. This is not something that Betrayal was. Hey, look, I remember the team name. This is not something that Betrayal prepared for or were prepared for to begin with. So yeah, Insomnia basically getting a 3 points here because we're still at 0 stages, and yeah, I think it's kind of over.
I do think so as well, but getting a 4 out. 4 outed on Billy Mathis.
0 stage. That's what you have to stress.
Like I feel like if you would have played the Billy as an M1, like Evan, you would have gotten it down, right? With Bloodlust 3 on 1 pallet?
Yeah. Unfortunate. But yeah, still Bloodlust 3 is not gonna allow you to get a chainsaw down quicker. Just M1s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you would have played if you would have said, I don't like the Billy and just M1 from the beginning, you would have gotten a stage, right? I feel like.
A stage at least, yeah, but obviously it would have not mattered because a 4K on 3 was required for a win and 4K on 2 for a draw. So, yeah, the moment our survivors already had such steady and efficient early game, it was technically already over.
Sheesh. That's the result from this. I mean, last set is a chance for Betrayal to show us what they got.
Yeah, one more set to go.
And one final chance almost to ask your questions. Do you want to know anything about Season 9, the playoffs, the grand final casters maybe that have been decided in the background but not announced yet?
It's not me.
Anything like that? Any interest? Any questions?
I think players is right when my final exam start. Yeah, so good thing I didn't say I was gonna cast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right around my exams, so good thing that I didn't say. What's your favorite survivor perk? Enemies necessary. I play that every pub game. Oh, that's also a very good pick.
Autodidact even if it wouldn't be so RNG related, but it can be so fun to play with Autodidact. It has great moments where, like, I killed my mates so many times with that perk because the killer was coming and we would have finished the heal, but then it's minus 25% and then the player is going down and later the killer thinks he has time and then you have 5 stacks and then it's instant heal. Like, you have such nice moments with these perks. Unfortunately, it's very RNG dependent sometimes, so I will go with Autodidact.
You're talking about sandbagging, but you don't understand the potential that any means has. Because one thing that people don't think about is, you know, usually people just take like the primary function of the perk for granted. It's just, yeah, you pick up pallets, great. But actually, whenever you start the animation, you make a sound, and it sounds almost exactly like a slow vault, which jukes out spirits a lot. Also, it looks like you're starting the fast vault animation, which for killers that are trying to play off 50-50s might just make overcommit to one side because they think, yeah, okay, your animation locked now, I'm gonna go for the swing. But then you actually never vaulted. And where the sandbag potential comes in, whenever you hold a pallet, survivors can't vault it. And I've killed many friends of that. So yeah. Next question. Will Hagen Twins be in the season? No, because you asked. Their perk? We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Blood Rush, yeah. Do the casters know what Blood Rush is? Yeah, the perk that was at first extremely overpowered and then never came back because it got nerfed into the ground. Because now it only activates once every game and it used to every time. Yeah, it's. Do you remember what Blood Rush does? Perk that's basically never used anymore. Yeah. Yeah, like second exhaustion. So you enjoy yourself. Yeah. You should play for a team. Let's be real. Yeah, you should. Someone asked for 1v1s as well between the casters, but you have to take into consideration Daya has 10,000 hours on the game and I have 6,000 hours on the game. So he'd obviously be 40% as good as 40% better than me. So I'd stand no chance.
Because 5,000 hours at tournament spectating.
You're supposed to
DBE
continue with my joke.
No, because you're saying that I'm good and then people have expectations and then I'm going to disappoint everyone. Yeah, now I opened the grand final caster topic and a few people ask about it and then I never answered about it. Fact is you will not know tonight. I was just teasing. It's decided, but not public.
Spoiler, it's not gonna be Mechcode.
Unfortunate.
Imagine, that would be awesome.
I can say though that we will have 5 people on the desk. On the grand final. 5 people.
Same time?
Not at the same time, but overall 5 people will be on the desk.
At the same time, all screaming.
I mean, quintuple cast would be 9. It's
yeah, we
it's
just
5 people on the desk.
Talking about it.
But I can talk about the concept.
Yeah, if we ever go that far to where we all sit on a couch, you'd probably just have me in the corner laughing constantly.
I mean, I can talk about the plan for the grand final. So we are planning with 2 casters, just as you're used to. 2 casters are planning
whatever that means.
Yeah, Shmizi, that was a bit hard. Like,
well, it's a reference
to
current. It's a reference to current the status quo in memes because whatever memes are just called brain rot nowadays.
Well, I don't know that. I don't know
but
that.
That's still not funny. No, that's not a meme itself.
Yeah.
That's just what you describe bad memes with.
Okay, I get it. So grand final will be a best of 7. With the team that is coming from the higher bracket in the playoffs having the advantage of a Joker set. That's why it's important who's coming in what way into the grand final, and that's why it's important who wins Elysium Eternal. So whoever wins from Elysium Eternal will go straight into the grand final. The other team needs to make the run through the lower bracket against Calamity. If you are coming as the higher bracket team or the winner team, you can basically replay one set that you lost. So let's make an example. Eternal against Elysium. Eternal came winner bracket. Elysium came from the lower bracket. And now Elysium would take set point number 4 and would win the best of 7. Then Eternal can pick one set that they lost. And this set will be replayed. And if Elysium wins again, then Elysium is the winner of Season 9. If Eternal is winning now, they steal the set point and we continue until we have a real winner. This Joker can only be used once and is automatically used when Elysium would take the win. For the casters, the concept is 2 casters for the trial, just as you are used to, nothing changing. 2 hosts, because we will not go on a break a single time in the grand final. We will constantly talk during the breaks. This will be done by the 2 hosts and 1 analyst coming in to explain the strategies a little bit, to give a little bit of a deeper insight. And then basically the campfire chat is the hosts with the analysts. They are talking together. And then at the end of the campfire chat, when we go into the trial, the hosts are throwing it to the casters. The casters are casting the trial until we are on the scoreboard. And then the casters will hand it back towards the hosts. And the hosts are talking during the break with the analyst, giving it back to the casters. And we will have 2 hosts, 2 casters. They are decided already, but they will not be shared today. Take that, everyone.
And
we are on the Dead Dogs.
Interviews yet. Right? We're not doing interviews yet, but hopefully in future tournaments.
In the All Hollows League, 100%. It's going to come back. Yeah, I mean, we could talk about interview for Season 9 Grand Final. I'm up for that.
But that takes a bit of quite a bit of effort to set up.
Yeah, so I would assume it's going to be the All Hollows League. In the meanwhile, I was about to say Shell is moving a little bit, dancing a little bit around this pallet here, and Colin is showing his frustration about that by demolishing this wall over here. Besides that, not too much damage for the Survivor team yet, but that changes since we have 1 Survivor vaulting into the Wraith face.
Their first club of the trial comes through as well. Really looking forward to Wraith trials because these really go all over. Yeah, that was so obvious it was gonna be a head-on. I was just about to say it as well. Yeah, with Wraith, it can be a 4K. Yeah, yes, indeed. What is dementia? It can be a 4K very early on into the game, but it can also end quite horribly. Usually, a Wraith, I think, still has the statistics of being the most lethal killer in all of DBDLeague. So, this killer usually ends up with a 4K on 2, 1, 3, or something like that. So, yeah, guys, that means stronger than Billy. No, of course not, but based on the balancing and the map that is picked for him is extremely oppressive, and we might get a painless here before the first generator pops, and that's usually a dream start for a killer. Don't get it on main, obviously, because that was 70%, and the generator in the corner was past the 90% mark. So yeah, the oh, that's also the first time I'm seeing. Is that Gabriel or Betrayal? That's Betrayal, right? Yeah, Gabriel is the sci-fi turbo landing character, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen someone play default. That's gay. Who's it? Vittorio. No, is it? Wait, what's that character called again?
Vittorio.
Okay, no, that's not Vittorio, is it?
It's Honest.
Who?
What?
Who is it?
The second one,
Yeah!
it's Honest Vasquez.
Is that's not how you... Jonah! Oh my god! Dude, these characters are becoming... Victoria! These characters are becoming way too irrelevant. Oh my god. But yeah, to be honest, survival different Saga characters are just skins in the end. Okay, that's another head-on. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that was sexy, as True Talent would say. With the double jump, with the head-on double jump on there, it's awesome. Yeah, the overcome dude, that's amazing. It's the overcome dude.
Are you okay, Mathis?
No, man.
Okay, I'll take over. We will bring Mathis in the hospital, everyone. We will just call him on. What is happening here? Someone call the ambulance for Mathis. Samurai going down in the corner here at this very, very disgusting pallet that no one has ever made use of. And Cyber, Odds, Samurai, and Lux are going to be the 3 survivors spreading across the generators here. 3 gens already done. Is definitely a good result though. Samurai is dying in 50 seconds. Until then we can spread across the generators. We can get a little bit of extra pressure. So it's looking really good for the survivor team. Usually we already have an elimination by this time, especially on the Dog Saloon, where the Wraith is recently starting to shine even during season 9. Colin and Lux are going to be in a little bit of a back and forth around the pallet, and very understandable. Right after saving, we are going to go back onto Samurai. We want to eliminate that survivor as quick as we can, though for the people is going to be make it a little bit more difficult for the killer, as we now need 2 tags onto Samurai here, trying to fake around this pallet. Not going to work, Colin. Too experienced for that, but it's not going to be a hit as well. The blind coming out as well. Good work by the survivor team here. Insomnia delaying that elimination as much as they can, and I think even lost track of that survivor.
You know, I was gonna say at least, or what I did say previously near the start of our casting journey today, this was looking extremely narrow between both of these teams. But it seems like Betrayal didn't have as much endurance here as Insomnia, which kind of goes against the namesake, doesn't it? Because with Insomnia, you usually expect maybe there's like an hour of uptime for this team, but considering the lack of sleep. But yeah, they're the ones that are pulling through it till the end, and what became extremely evident in the Hillbilly set, where that was, I mean, a very clear stomp, extremely one-sided, and we might be seeing something similar on this race set here, because Colin only has 3 sets of sets so far. Yeah, he's already won 3 sets. No, he's got 3 stages with 2 generators remaining, and this doesn't look like an O2 promising 3-gen setup. Samurai will be found again. Our Wraith desperately needs a tunnel out here, and there would be no other than Samurai. The only, you know, the name Samurai also makes sense because he's the only one that's brave enough to put the team name or the team tag into his name. So, hats off to our. I'm not even gonna say the name because what is he even playing? I don't know. One of the other characters as well that I still don't know the name of. Who cares? It's Survivors. And here we see, as Savannah said, Hona! Also injured here, one of the only 2 survivors left besides Samurai who have not been hooked just yet. Samurai should be picked in. No, he's being healed though. A survivor not going... Our killer not going for the pick just yet, instead just wants the down onto Horna. It's probably gonna be another head on. No, it's actually not. They're playing around the phobia of potential hell on here, as Wraith is trifurcated the moment he goes for the down, or cut into 3 parts if someone doesn't know the high octane vocabulary of dissecting people or kills, I guess. Watch Dead Meat, guys, on YouTube. You'll learn soon. Anyway, yeah, Quallen's struggling to get an elimination in this trial. Cybereye with an attempted fire barrel attack, but that's only something we've seen last time in Winter Circuit. That was actually the match winner against Wispy, if I recall correctly, between what was it, X9 already at that point? Probably not. I don't even know.
I don't know.
It was whatever team Wispy was on against Sinners. That's what it was, definitely. So, yeah, an attempt there made once again there, but unfortunately is going to backfire. 1 generator left that needs popping. And it seems like they've got a split that is definitely, that they can definitely work with. Oh, it's Renato with a cap. I thought it was a different character at first. But yeah, back to you. So, yeah, what do you think would be the potential ending of Australia? Are they going to be able to get 3? I would gamble and say they are in a good position to get 3 people out of the trial.
Absolutely, yeah. I can only hope for the Wraith that we somehow see an endgame speedrun. Because Wraith, with all the results that we're collecting from Season 9, definitely has the potential and the capability of going for a 4K on the Dead Dog Saloon. We have seen that multiple times. And 5 stages so far is far away from that. Luckily, they are not getting the 5th generator just yet. Instead, the survivors will first be chased kind next to that generator, and second, you still have Garafa on the hook there, so I would assume they're doubling up this generator. Yeah, that's indeed the case here. That still allows you to go for a potential 3-man escape. Mathis just got timed out for playing about the... Yeah, bad Mathis.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's exactly. You know, you want to know what you eat is called in Russian? That's even better. I only say it. I only say his Russian name ever since I found out about it. In Russian, his in-game name is Yuiti. It's even better. The T instead of the Ch for some reason. Yuiti. Yeah, no, that sounds.
Sounds kind of cute though. Yuiti.
Yuiti. I'm pretty sure it's a. It shouldn't be a soft T in that case. It should be standard.
Have you eaten your dinner?
Have I eaten my dinner? No, because it's out of this world. Or whatever. I don't even know. No, that was terrible. That's even worse. You know, that was another
into a slaughter fest
earlier, but I can't say that here. Yeah, now I've got the two people down actually for once. So yeah, all the pressure that Colin was so desperately waiting for is finally happening, or what's it called? Unveiling itself in endgame. That's the verb I was looking for. And yeah, this went from 3 out to 3 people on the ground. So making fun of the poor names. No, they're funny and cute. There's actually no way. That was huge. Trifurcated Wraith once again. That's actually huge for a killer. This could have ended terribly for him, and it was, as I said, I saw it possible to have a 3-man escape here, but instead now it's a 3K, with only 2 stages leaving out of the exit gate. There's much wiggle room now for our upcoming survivors. And
yeah,
killer.
this was an insane. This was an insane endgame from the Wraith. Like coming from a 4, 5. Yeah, but coming from a 4, 5 hook stages, where you are saying based on what we see in Season 9, well, this is looking really difficult, into what will it be, 10 stages now? I mean, we have a tenacity player here. That is potential. There is potential for an out here.
That doesn't understand potential, that has security. No, he fell.
No!
That would have been too good. I've never seen tenacity coming in with so much value. I was about to be really happy. That would have been the first time I've ever seen that. Oh, that is so sad. But yeah, he's really beating him. Oh, he's no half measures with this Wraith here. Oh, I think he's gonna die in time, no? No, the animation's still gonna be. No, it's still gonna be a couple of seconds. There's no way he just stopped two smiles from escaping literally at the last possible second.
Yeah.
That could not have been better for Colin. Wow. What's this new Wraith character? Yeah, he's been screwed a couple times.
This is the preparation for the 2 versus 8 mode. You will play one half of the Wraith each. One player controls the upper part, one player controls the legs.
Oh no, it's like you know, with if it's like 3 children in a trench coat that are acting to be adults. An adult. You know what I mean? It's like 3 kids stacked on top of one another, so they're tall.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
cover themselves up in the trench coat. Yeah, it's that. And then you have to control each part. Have the stats and cast at the same time. Yep. You got that right.
Oh, that was an impressive endgame that we saw
actually.
there from Colin. Well done.
But
10 stages on the line. Yeah, Garaffa has played.
He's proven himself as a phenomenal variety killer.
Yeah, that's what I was about to touch on as well. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the M1s, especially on the Wraith, are looking really good on Garaffa. And knowing, like, 4K is possible with Wraith and our balancing on the Dad Dog Saloon, so I don't think you're too scared here.
Talking about looking good, Dyer. Wow, you too.
What?
You said his Wraith looked really good.
Oh.
Take the compliment now, or be forever silent. Wow. Well, guess I'm solo casting from now on. It's a one-man show, everybody. I executed him with a poor joke. Are there any more questions? We're about to enter the ultimate final last. You know, you've got 3 alliterations. 3 synonyms of the same thing. Yeah, the last game, up ahead of ourselves. So if there are any more questions by our lovely people in chat, then this will be your last opportunity to hit us with them. Maybe it will reinvigorate Dyer to return. But as we're still waiting for questions to be put into chat, you know, one thing I just was reminded of last time I was eating at McDonald's with friends, because I got McDonald's for myself today, and I've got like 2 empty boxes of chips now, and if you put them together and then you put 2 straws on either side, and then you take 4 cup lids, and you put them on the straws, you can build the McDonald's mobile. And sadly, I don't have the drinks or the no, actually, I do think I have the straws. Oh yeah, I have them in the kitchen. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna build the McDonald's mobile once we're done casting, and I'm gonna post it. My favorite chip flavor. Well, I was being British, and I was saying that like fries were like chips, you know. But yeah, when it comes to actual like crisps, you mean from bags, then actually just salt. I really don't like crisp flavoring. Even
Which team has gone through? Sorry for.
Yeah.
Were you done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which team has gone through the strongest development?
Oh boy, because we disbanded twice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, for me, honestly, Ariandel, when I remember how Babbo left Eternal and how Babbo was trying to build his own team, and at the very beginning it looked very okay, I would say, and now Ariandel in Season 9 beating Elysium, beating Eternal in the main season, making it into the playoffs, then showing a strong game against Eternal, and then, very unfortunately dropping against Calamity. Honestly,
I was really starting to root for Ariandel. Also, I mean,
Me too. I wanted them to win.
yeah, but personally completely biased because I'm actual friends of like half of that roster.
I wanted Ariandel to win, and I don't know them really. The only
Well, I pick Exois, Riyama, Hardwell, Bobo. What's there not to know?
yeah, I know them, but I don't know them personally. That's what I know. That's
Ah.
what I meant.
Ah, okay. Yeah, he did, so no. Sadly, they couldn't uphold that momentum to playoffs, and then Eternal won with relative ease. Ask something about Rome or some. Ask about Rome or something. Dyer, name me the exact year the Western Roman Empire fell.
Oh, I actually know that.
I hope so.
I actually know that.
Yeah, then
That
say
was
Yeah,
400, something with 400. I don't know how
Yeah.
exactly. I know it's 4.8 or 4.7.
Yes. Yeah, 476.
Yeah, something like that. I
Spoilers.
knew it was 400.
Yeah, so I know I actually study history, so there you go. So yeah, you're on the right hand here. But yeah, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? Twice a day.
I actually
I'd say.
never do. I actually never do.
Okay, you're not a man then. I do twice a day at least.
I never think about the Roman Empire. I think about my own empire.
Okay, so like,
So my DBDLeague empire. Okay.
you know, I think about Team Empire because that was actually my very first comp team that was ever on was called Empire. It all makes sense. I mean, I'm just also very proud of Germany, so I'm always proud of the German Empire from 1871, you know? That was a good time. Good time for
With
us.
the DBDL empire, because tomorrow everyone is not watching anymore, and then I'm sitting here alone in my
Half the
empire crying.
streamers are getting the
Nancy!
next week. Perished. Goodbye.
And-
Thinking like a tyrant already? What do you
Nancy
mean
going
already?
up.
It's always been that way. You really think we've had good intentions with this league? No. Bow down.
Or someone says, this guy thinking like a tyrant or tyrant
Tyrant.
already.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah.
If you would know what people
Oi.
accuse us of when we moderate ladder, when we ban a member, when we get us accusations.
Yeah, oh my god. This is exactly like Germany 1935. Why are you censoring us? That's unbelievable. We're getting banned for insulting? Banned for lies on the internet? On the internet, lies? That's not a thing. Come on.
Oh, you don't want to see that, Cindy, believe me.
I just hope that why did you time me out? This is unfair.
I hope that you're okay. No, let's not go deeper into that. Sparky is on this very difficult palette here after it's dropped
No
and after a
longer
little bit
now.
of bloodlust is gained, and the very nicely divided Wraith is going to take the down.
Goodbye,
50%
Terracon.
on the generator over here. Not looking too good for the Survivor team. We were talking about you need some outs. 9 stages is the maximum you can go for. And now, yeah, you have Sparky in 45 seconds eliminated from this trial. The gen pressure not being the best. Betrayal, once again, Mathis not catching me with the biggest efficiency. This is something they definitely need to
Yeah.
put hands on.
I think they underestimate the speed at which their opposition can get downs early in the game, because Garafa has been putting up phenomenal plays so far. Like really, especially what I remember was I hope it was him on Ghost Face against the Ace at the start of the trial. I think it was Winter Edit, where there were so many downs so quickly. So yeah, Garafa really has really decent knowledge in chase, and it shows with because I don't think this gen pressure is going to be enough, but Garafa's still struggling to get an elimination from the tower. He does manage to find Sparky immediately, and of course his add-ons are going to help out. Goes behind lane here where he has absolutely no chance of reaching a pallet, and that is definitely going to be the down. Unavoidable. Sparky manages to execute the first survivor as we get another sneak peek into the race inside, and as you can tell, no organs there. He's only powered by absolute evil. He's got a lot in common there with Michael Myers. He's got the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. there's nothing in him besides pure evil and the intent to kill. And as we can tell, Sparky has already fallen victim to exactly this mantra. And it seems like Sonic will be the next to follow. One of these ones that has died the most consistently closer to the start of the trial. And yeah, with the kill, this is looking really, really good for Garafa this early on. Has used beta at the penalty. Also, interestingly, there goes for about 60% uncloak, hoping that Sonic would vault into the killer and give him a kill. But it's not going to happen. Sonic immediately books it. Doesn't want to play with fire there. And will be put into the dying state eventually. That's going to be the second hook onto Sonic, as there's not much he can do against a Wraith in this part of the map. It's all about 50-50s on this extremely unsafe tiles. And yeah, Colin just chilling on lockout, seems like almost getting grabbed there. Not going to be quite enough. This goes to the head-on quick and quiet. Now in chase goes to the slow vault, wasting a bit of time on the Wraith's behalf. But vaults right into our killer. Now with that bamboozle gonna catch, not quite gonna catch Colin off guard, but will be stuck on another extremely unsafe window. Immediately goes for the W, but it's not gonna be enough. It's Colin down in the middle of the trial. Winter just went for the save on Sonic, so truth be told, there's absolutely no survivor that's been only generated the past 20 seconds.
Colin hooked, Sonic almost eliminated, Winter added, the only one that is really able to go for a longer chase here because he can take 2 tags and he also has 2 minutes of hang time. 2 gens still standing. We would wish that Betrayal is going for that final set point, not walking home here with a 3-1 and instead taking a second set point, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, Mathis. I would hope.
Yeah, with 6 days in, 2 injuries. You would hope that.
I would wish Betrayal a set win towards the end. So we don't have a... I mean, we have 3-1 now, so it's not going to turn into a 4-1. But...
Oh, he got it!
Let's go, Colin! Colin for the award! Colin with the sword! Yeah, Colin all night! With the head on shining so bright!
Right. You're gonna take the England down and say, it's Colin home, it's Colin home!
Savannah, clip that highlight video. Savannah,
it's Colin home! That was actually wild. Only that allowed for Winter to pop this penultimate generator. I don't think that it would have been possible for these players to get to or another generator done if it hadn't been for this chase just now. But yeah, it's difficult to say with the overall matchup that we've had between Betrayal and Insomnia. I'd say at first I was wishing for more ties because it would represent the actual tightness of all of these matches more clearly, but I have to give it to them. Team Insomnia have been much more through his weapon there, have been much more consistently these past 3 sets, so I think the score does end up representing it the best.
Yeah, I'm afraid it will be a 4-1 for Insomnia.
Betrayal have done extremely well at the start. It was very close on both sides. You saw 2 outs against Nurse as well at the very beginning. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they are playing really well. I just feel like that the good showing they present us is more for balancing out the missed chances in the beginning. Like they're taking too long to hop on the generators. They are lacking efficiency because they don't use every single second they gain. And then they play a very, very strong mid game and they play a strong end game. The problem is that because of the weak early game, they are thrown behind so much that their great performance is now more for balancing out the early game than actually dominating the trial. I think their mid game even now is good. They are having good chases. They know exactly what they need to do. They are splitting up. They find good moments to reset. Like, they have all the knowledge. The problem is the early game was so slow that they are now still working on the gens while they could be already out of the door.
Yeah, and we'll just see how that impacts the rest of the trial. We got... I think a 4K1 doesn't represent it as well as it could have, because it all just comes down to the start of the trial here. And we saw Colin last time on, you know, it's also quite fitting how cute that song, because in 3 minutes it's England versus Netherlands. So yeah, it's Colin home. Anyway, Colin, I gotta have to say, very lucky in his Wraith game. Should have got much more pressure on his own, and it was more Betrayal's or Insomnia's mistake in the later stages of the game that allowed him to get as many stages as he inevitably did. But yeah, here on their survivor side, it lacks those chases, I feel like, because their split is decent. I think they're, as you said, not prompt enough on generators, so they need to get faster on those and not to dilly-dally as much. But yeah, yeah, as I said about the parcel service, that's now. Be right back.
Yeah, parcel postman Mathis is getting on the way, and meanwhile Garafa is also having a delivery for his team, and that's going to be the down onto Colin, even though it looked a little bit like a struggle and took a few additional seconds. It is not something the survivor team can prevent, and that leaves Winter at it as the final standing survivor working on the gen in the gallows area, but since it's just 50%, that will not be enough time to finish it, I believe, since Garafa is now already in the area and will hear the generator and will now be aware that Winter at it is on it, trying to go for the ambitious swing, not going to work out. Winter at it having a little bit too good of a connection there for this to come through. We are going towards the next filler pallet. It has already been dropped, so it's not the safest tile anymore, but certainly something you can work with, especially with the second filler pallet and the third filler pallet being chained together. So Garafa either building up Bloodlust, and he does have the times, it is the only survivor, but at least please not go for some whiffs here. Winter at it, serving some juice towards the end here.
I'm
That's
back.
very beautiful to witness. Mathis, we're getting the juice.
Well, all I see is a down Corvette. Dire.
Oh, well, you missed the good part.
Well, but if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there, did it actually happen? Yeah, Dire? Yeah. What's your
What?
point?
I'm watching football.
That only starts... Oh yeah, it just started. Bloody hell.
I was looking for the webpage.
Yeah, okay. Okay, good one. I said if a tree falls somewhere in the forest and no one sees or hears it, did it actually happen? Such a
Well,
yeah,
okay.
Cheers.
Let's
I said it several
summarize
times
what
so far already. Yeah, let's summarize.
Let's summarize what we've seen tonight. So I think what we can agree on is that Insomnia, with the 4-1 win, has shown an incredible performance. No balance offenses, instantly ready on the lobby, good communication in the past, great showcase on killer and survivor side. Insomnia looked really, really insane. Betrayal looked good. I see the potential. The number one message I want to give them walking away from here is working on the early game. What would be your message towards Betrayal when you can give them something on their way into competitive DBD?
Yeah, not as much dilly-dally. Get on the gens as soon as you can, if it's safe. And yeah, I definitely against Doc, it's revise chases. That's definitely it. Because we didn't see much targeted countering of his ability. So yeah, and I think especially with Ghost Face as well, it's need to play much safer in that regard. Where what I elaborated on earlier in the matchup is when you don't know exactly where the killer is, then you need to make sure you're not in risky spaces. Especially you can't be injured on a generator when no one knows where the Ghost Face is. So you need to make sure that your team has clear communication on his whereabouts and his potential movement, rough ideas on where exactly he could be located at all times, and play accordingly. And I think that also applies to lots of other killers. Definitely need to work on the Hillbilly killer as well. Need to find someone who's more dedicated to the killer, or if your main killer wants to practice some more, then definitely go look into that. Can't allow to get 0 stage on an S tier killer ever. But yeah, besides that, I think that summarizes it up overall. So, is there any piece of advice you'd like to give furthermore?
Not really, besides a thank you to both teams, because when you're trying to get your name out into the community, you can get that with scrims offline, but it does take something to walk onto the stage of DBDL, showcase your team in front of 2 casters and 500 people. So huge respect for that, and thank you a lot for a very nice best of 5. It was very entertaining to watch. I think that's what we can take from today. Furthermore, thank you so much to the team members of DBDL that we're carrying today, which are Savannah and thank you, Mathis. Savannah, Aiko, and producer, special shout out Derolog. Thank you so much for taking the responsibility in what the audience is going to see. Last but not least, or as we say in German, the best comes last. Das Beste kommt zum Schluss.
Save the best for last.
Thank you for being here.
It's a literal perk! Dire! The shape. Save the best for last. There you go, that's the proverb in English. Yeah, it's Scrim Nights are lovely, always lovely to cast. I wish I had more time to cast the actual tournaments as well, but weekends are usually quite booked and difficult to manage to say it. Dire, say it. Say what's in chat.
What is in chat? Schinken!
Yes.
we love some schinken.
There you go, Kitry. But yeah, I'm really glad we have these Scrim Nights available, because these are the only few opportunities I have to actually cast, especially on Wednesday. Thursday, or I mean weekend as well in the future, will be much more consistent for me as well, since my uni semester is coming to an end, with finals wrapping up within the next 2.5 weeks. Yeah. So yeah, besides that, I should always be able to cast more efficient, more consistently. Sadly, not booked for the grand finals as of just yet, because I've got exams to take care of, etc. So yeah, but I'll certainly try my best to watch, keep a lookout, and support the league in any way I can, because this is a passion project by many of us, and it's lovely to contribute to it. And yeah, that would be my closing statement. Have fun if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're looking to watch it on YouTube, then have fun.
My closing statement will be thank you to all the people that have watched today. Thank you for everyone coming out in the community night. Thank you so much, everyone, for continuously supporting us, and even making it possible that we are reaching the Twitch partnership. We will see you tomorrow if you would like, same time, and then on the weekend. Yeah, now it's England, Netherlands time. We will see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central European time. Take care, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.